Is number 60. Yep.
All right, folks. Welcome back to number 60, the SF Company Hour. We're going to talk some Deadpool rated R, thankfully. Some other various news. And they're trying to cancel The Punisher. What a damn shame. Oh, look at us on time for once. Okay, I love it.
No Hondo.
No Hondo.
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 Still shitting on him. That's what I do.
No Hondo. No peace. All right. So welcome, folks. SF Company Hour, number 60 and 60 of a limited series. I just say we're going to 150 and then we're going to kill each other at some point. So we've got a fun show today. We got a bunch of topics to go through, some trailers to talk about. We got this I Love Lucy movie in the works. We have Deadpool rated R. We're going to talk about that Punisher. They're trying to take away the Punisher now because assholes are trying to take it over. We're going to have plenty to talk about that. So today, making his first appearance, Pinball Mike. Mike, great dude. And welcome to the show. Finally on the show. We talked about it for so many years. Grand first appearance, issue number 60. Mike, how you doing? Tell us about your geekdom. How you doing? All that stuff. Give us all. And don't talk about your mustache. We don't want to.
This thing, like I almost rioted a couple days ago and just went. No. The fandom, yeah, I love the this comic book world that we're all hanging out in, and the movie world has leaked. The comic world has leaked in the movie world, and I was saying, talking about Stan Lee just writing back in the 70s. Who would have thought that would have blossomed into this?
Yeah.
Culture. Wonderful culture.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Yeah. And what about the pinball, man? You got some vintage gaming going on too, man.
I do. I'd swing the camera around, but I don't want to set it up. It's actually sitting on one of my machines right here in my studio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which machine?
This is a Stingray by Stern from 1976, and it's to my right is a single player spin a card by Gottlieb from 56, and it's a cabinet all unique and everything. Anyway,
very cool.
One works, one doesn't. So
yeah,
one's a working project that I have, and I'm lucky enough to date a wonderful girl who works in a environment where I can work on my machines. So
nice.
Very cool. All right,
I'll plug her later.
Very cool. Welcome to the show.
Yay!
Perfect fit for us. And speaking of wonderful girls and ladies, and what's going on, Lori?
Nothing much, guys. Good to be here. Always, number 60, a good, nice round number. Gotta love that.
We're chugging along.
I got a couple things I think that you guys will like regarding hidden gems and pull lists. So we'll see.
Ooh, I'm already interested.
We hate everything, so I don't know about that.
Okay.
Speaking of hating anything, everything, effort, the Graciness, Maximus.
I don't hate everything. Everything just hates me. It's a sad existence, but it's okay. No, dude, ready and willing to go, ready to go. This is a lot of bullshit going on, and they riled up the wrong fucking person, man.
Yeah, you don't radicalize Rick. All right, you fucked up.
They did fuck up. They fuck up. The radical left. They're gonna start saying radical left, Max Effort Grayson. Radical left, Max Effort Grayson. That's my goal in life right now.
Wow. All right. How do you top that? All right.
Too political.
Yeah. We'll get political later. Don't worry. We'll get a whole segment of being political. All right. Let's go through a couple trailers. We could talk about this Cherry trailer. Really not much to talk about. It's really just like a scene from the movie. This is coming out February 26th. It looks like this is going to be streaming. I think this is going to be a pay one. It looks like it's going to be on Apple and Amazon, so I'm not sure how you're going to be able to see it. You might have to pay for this one. But this is basically an army medic suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, becomes a serial bank robber after addiction to drugs puts him in debt. So this is, of course, directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, of course, of Captain America: Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, some of the best Marvel movies out there. So this is them kind of going out of their comfort zone of the Marvel movies for the past few years and making a movie. So Mike, I'll go to you first, man. What'd you think of this trailer, man? Just kind of a quick little scene of the movie. What'd you think of this?
I missed the trailer. Sorry.
He didn't miss much. It was just him like sitting and talking to a recruitment specialist. So not really a deep trailer. So yeah.
More of a teaser then.
Yeah, more of a teaser. What do you think of the Russos branching out? Did you know any of their work before they did the Marvel movies, like in their sitcom life? They did some. They directed some episodes of Community, How I Met Your Mother, Arrested Development. They were kind of all over the comedy scene for a long time. So
okay, so yeah, I will binge watch the Arrested Development. I've enjoyed the humor of the Community, so I guess I am familiar with their work.
Yeah.
It's funny the way the directions of producing and directing go in the Marvel universe. It sometimes is almost a footnote, unless you've taken the most recent little bracket of movies where they've inserted themselves, if you will, into the movie. So we'll see if they do that same thing, where they continue to do this. The Stan Lee.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah. They're good writers, man. Yeah, they definitely brought a real sense of they know their stuff. So I'm glad to see they're branching out and doing some other. I forgot the movie they did before. I think it was a romantic comedy. Before they did Winter Soldier, their first Marvel movie. I haven't watched that yet, but I heard it's not bad. So Lori, did you watch this trailer at all?
I did. It was a little odd to kind of like you said, it wasn't a full trailer. It was more of just an informative scene. And I like Tom Holland. I think he's a good actor, and it's just going to be interesting to see how the story progresses, especially with a soldier dealing with PTSD, etc., which is such a hot topic in general because there's so much of a lack of care for veterans and for anybody that has PTSD in mental health in general. I mean, it's hard to tell because it wasn't really that there was not too much meat to it. But regarding the Russo brothers, they actually, and I forgot that they had done Arrested Development and all of the other things that you had mentioned, but they also did a movie that I love called Welcome to Collinwood, which is, that's the one. Yeah, and I own that on DVD, which I thought was a very funny film, and it's actually got a great cast too. It's got Sam Rockwell, it's got William H. Macy, and it's just a fun, kind of quirky, very weird little film. I think the interesting thing though is that I think they have a running theme, like because bank robbery or robbery was a theme in Welcome to Collinwood as well. So I don't know if maybe that has to do, they kind of have a thematic thing going on, but we'll see. Yeah,
they did have a time heist, so yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm definitely going to check it out. And is it on both Apple and Amazon, or just Apple?
It said it's going to be streaming, so it said it's on both. So I assume this is going to be a pay one, and this is one you're going to have to pay for. Okay. But yeah, it looks. I want to see more. I can't really get too much of an opinion. What do you think of this effort?
It looked okay. I mean, post-traumatic stress. We don't know too much about it, or we kind of do, but we don't really see the effects, like personally, unless you actually know somebody with it. Unfortunately, I have a family member who was in a war, and I think it was in the Desert Storm. And there are times I've witnessed it one time when we were on vacation, and he woke up in the middle of the night, just like looking around, like not knowing where he was. No. And yeah, so it's one of those things that doesn't leave you. I don't know if it's one of those. Well, you said he's doing it to pay for his medical bills, right? That's why he's robbing the banks. Mm-hmm. I don't know. The Russos do good movies. It's out of their comfort zone to do this. Possibly, this is more of a dramatic, real movie, not like a comic book movie or anything having to do with comedy like Community or Arrested Development. But good luck to him, man. Good filmmakers are good filmmakers. True. Hopefully, he doesn't. They don't disappoint.
I want to see what because they're going to be part of the MCU for a while too, and they've already said they want to like they want to play with the X-Men characters. They want to play with all these new characters coming in. So I think it's good for them. Like the old saying in Hollywood, you know, you do one for the studio, do one for yourself, do one for the studio, do one for yourself. So that's I think that's a good way for them to go about this. And you know, I'm looking forward to some from them. I want to see what they can do outside their comfort zone, like they said. So it should be fun. All right, but I want to see more. This movie's coming out.
Yeah, it's just like one shot, kind of like a close up
teaser. Cool. Like hopefully they're not showing too much because maybe a lot of it's spoilers and stuff. So I'm intrigued. I'm peaked. I want to see it. I want to see this. So I don't know if I'll pay for it opening day if I have to pay for it, but if I can watch it, I'll watch it.
And one thing I always am very intrigued about, especially, is to see British actors play Americans, because they have such a different take on American life that it's different than watching an American play an American. So I've always found that very interesting and very fascinating that they have they're actually more American than Americans are, which is very bizarre. At least that's my opinion of it. But yeah.
Yeah, he does a good accent. He was the first Peter Parker to actually have a fucking a Queens accent, so that's nice.
Yeah, well, good.
He's actually from Queens. All right, so the next trailer we're going to talk about is this More Than Miyagi trailer. This of course about the great Pat Morita. The great Pat Morita. You know, I remember Pat Morita from Happy Days, Arnold, man, back in the day. That's when I first knew of Pat Morita. But of course, he's Miyagi, famously for Miyagi. And this trailer's goes through deep. It looks like he had a lot of issues, a lot of demons. You know, just from growing up in the concentration camps and just dealing with being a stand-up comedian, being like probably one of the few Asian stand-up comedians in comedy. And so this is a pretty like almost heartbreaking trailer to watch, man. Like a lot of people from the past. You got the mom from Happy Days. You got the Karate Kid guys. You got from all the movies. So it just looks interesting. I definitely want to check this out. Lori, what'd you think of this trailer?
I mean, it was wonderful to see, and like you were saying about Happy Days, I mean, that's where our generation know him from is Arnold and that laugh of his that he had in Happy Days. But for me, I think the thing that stuck out the most is when they were talking about how his struggle in Hollywood, because if you think about it, Asians and especially Japanese at that point in time, they were the enemy technically still because of World War II and everything like that. And so he struggled even more so than other minorities, like the Black people weren't as bad, as discriminated against. Neither were Latinos. The Asians, though, there's very, very few Asians that were represented in a big way. And he happened to be one of them that luckily broke through with, and to be on a show like Happy Days. I mean, here is a show about an all-American, Midwest town and family, and they have this group of friends, and then you have this go into the diner, and it's owned by an Asian man. So it's a completely different. I'm sure that was a culture shock to a lot of people that aren't used to seeing that. And it was heartbreaking to see, but it was also wonderful because he did make such an impression. I mean, how many times have we said Daniel-san or wax on, wax off? I mean, he created this such an iconic character also with Mr. Miyagi too, which was so great, and all the subsequent movies that he was in too. And there's like I said, Anna May Wong is the only other Asian that I know of, and the lady that was in Flower Drum Song, I can't remember her name, but they were the ones that were the prominent in the States at least.
Yeah, well, Bruce Lee too. He's definitely.
I mean, Bruce Lee, of course. I mean, he definitely as well, but even he was treated badly and discriminated against and made fun of and everything else, and that was his life was unfortunately cut way too short. But I definitely want to see it, and I'm very happy that a new generation is now knowing who Mr. Miyagi is. The ones that, the younger generation that are like, who's Mr. Miyagi when they're watching Cobra Kai? It's like, we all know who he is. So
yeah, and a lot of that is Cobra Kai kind of bringing a lot of this.
Exactly.
It's coming out February 5th. It looks like it's digital HD and Blu-ray at the same day. So Mike, what'd you think of this trailer, man? Did you watch this one?
I guess I missed all the trailers, so my links.
Oh, so you're pulling a Rick. You don't read any of the fucking notes. Okay.
Typical.
But no, I know Pat Morita's influence, and I know what's coming out, and the fact that yes, he did an amazing thing coming out of encampments, out of the ignorance of governments fearing individuals during no need. So yeah, so
I'm glad that's changed.
Yeah.
Having come from that environment. And then, like Lori said, becoming on Happy Days, going from Al, how's the fish, not so good, to like Pat Morita going, hey, he loves it. He loves America. He wants this diner to flourish, and you can feel that in his character. And even then, as the wax on, wax off, that was, I don't know. It's so philosophically deep and so silly at the same time that you don't get it in so many layers. So yeah, like kids today need to know.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
he was our live action Yoda, man. He was a live action. He was like he was like a father figure to a bunch of kids that didn't have father figures in the 80s, man. He was somebody you can look up to and like, he's old. He looks old and weak, but you could tell he had a strong soul, and and you would believe that little bastard could like beat your ass too, man. Like like when he fucking he beat Kreese's ass in Karate Kid, you believe that shit because he just had that presence about him. So effort, man. What'd you think of this trailer, man?
I didn't watch the trailer just because. No. Honestly, I've like watched a lot of stuff on Pat Morita. Like as soon as the first like Cobra Kai came out, I started watching like a lot of documentary. Well, not documentaries, but like a lot of stuff on YouTube about him. Talked with his wife, talked with his kids. Like he was super low key. He didn't look for none of this like recognition. He wasn't the guy who went out there and like was an attention seeker. If like social media was around back then, he probably wouldn't have been on it. He's just a low key kind of a guy. I'm happy that right now he's being he's going into almost like a legend mode because I mean he was in the legend mode already, like coming out of like Karate Kid, but something like this with Cobra Kai is bridging another generation. I mean, it's bridging a couple generations. Is what 30 years. So other people are getting introduced to it now. They're probably wondering what's all these flashbacks, and it's like, oh, there's a movie that goes along with this too. Now they're watching the movie and being introduced to. Like Ray said, it's a father figure. Like Daniel didn't have that. As a matter of fact, I think Miyagi actually comes off only as a father figure until like probably the second and third movies. He's more of a dad. Like in the first movie, he's more of that big brother. He takes him under his wing, teaches him something that he knows. Because if it was him being his dad, he'd be like, no, don't fight. They're always don't fight. But until later on, Miyagi was like, yo, no, kick his ass. No. Chosen, he's going to kill you. No, you kick his ass. So, I mean,
this is not tournament. This is real life.
This is real life. And that's a great line. Like you guys, everybody says, wax on, wax off. I focus, Daniel-san, focus. Crane technique, very hard to.
Yeah. How many of us have done that in our lives, like trying to do the exact same move?
Like, every time when he's drunk and he's like the first Karate Kid when he's drunk,
it's sad
and talking like you tell that's some real shit. He's like coming from the heart, man. That's a very emotional scene. Yeah, anybody watch Community here?
Did he make it onto Community?
No, but they did a play within the show where Ken Jeong played Miyagi, and he wanted him to play Miyagi. He's like, oh, the Asian guy's gonna play Miyagi. But he's like, no, that's what the Karate Kid is about. Not some like idiot kid from New Jersey. It's about the struggles of the World War II fighter Pat Morita. Like it's a great episode when they reenact like the Karate Kid and stuff with Ken Jeong. Yeah. Fucking hilarious! Really good episode. Really well done. But I'm looking forward to this, man. It's gonna be it looks like it's gonna be a sad one, man. And I'm glad people like Rick said that he's becoming above legend status. He's just one of those like godlike figures in our zeitgeist. So I'm glad to see he's gained some love, man. He's getting in the world. So, well, we'll stick with the sad news since we're on the sad news hypes. Marion Ramsey, man, Hooks, from the Police Academy movies, passed away, man.
Great lady.
Yeah, great, hilarious actress. She was an actress, singer. She was on the series of Cause. She did a bunch of TV roles, but she's known for Hooks in Police Academy. That's where I knew her from.
Oh yeah.
She just had that. She was a great character, man. She was just sweet. She had that little squirrely voice, squeaky squirrely voice. But when she got badass, she made her presence known. So just R.I.P. to Hooks, and just you guys, Mike, any memories of Police Academy and Hooks and all that?
Great memories of Police Academy. Those were the sillier movies that I geared to as a silly kid, and seeing her in that quiet, meek role, and then that first belt out that she gives, you're just like,
yeah. Great, yeah.
You can do so, yeah. So that's a force that she'll be missed, and I think her role was one of the more pivotal characters in that whole series.
Yeah,
and that she helped with too. It was really
yeah, she brought heart. Her role brought heart to the. A lot of the guys are kind of like they're like comedic foils and they're that's stereotypical. But she was just that heart to the cast. They were just kind of rounded them out for sure. What about you, Lorraine? Any Police Academy memories?
Well, same thing. I mean, and I didn't realize she was also a Broadway actress, and she wrote some songs, and I mean, it's very talented lady, and yeah, she was always great. Like you were saying, the little meek voice, and then all of a sudden she's just like freeze, sucker, and all this. I mean, it was just so great to see her, and she also had that balance because there was the blonde lady that was in Police Academy too, correct? So she was kind of. It was like
Callahan.
It was
Callahan. There you go. Callahan.
Yeah, it was like the yin and the yang. It was like the yin and the yang in that, and so it was nice to see that balance there. But she was just such a great lady, and just a great lady in general, and a wonderful actress. And it's always sad. And what Mike was saying about the Police Academy, I mean, they don't make movies like that anymore. They don't make those kind of genre films and series films that are just pure comedy, pure fun. I mean, all of those guys are such iconic, like. What's his name? Michael. Oh God, it's gonna kill me now.
Winslow.
Thank you, Michael Winslow. I mean, he's amazing. The guy is just a force to be reckoned with his talent, and it's just all such a great series of films. And so rest in peace, kiddo. She was great.
Yeah, right on, Rick.
Dude, I mean, like any Police Academy movie that she was in. Like it's great because she's like getting picked on like pretty much like part of the movie, but she gets her jabs back in anytime like Harris or Mauser want to say something, and as soon as they turn their back, she's like asshole. I used to love that. I used to love it. Like she didn't back down, and when she found her voice, dude, did she ever like don't move dirtbag? I think it's it's for like comedy movies. I mean. Police Academy is a. It'll be. I'd love for them to redo it, just with the cast that I choose.
We picked a pretty good cast for that.
Yeah, we picked a great cast, but it's like at the same time, I don't know if they would have. It'd have to be done by the right studio, like the right guys, like Seth Rogen. I'd love for them to try to do that. That'd be a good, But I just don't want them like. Turning it into 21 Jump Street and fucking it all up,
Well, they
were. It was funny. 21 Jump Street was funny. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't want them taking a property like they did and turning it into like a super like slapsticky, druggy comedy and shit.
Right.
It should have been a little bit more like dramatic. Jonah Hill. They were funny, but I'd rather have a funny, not a funny 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, I don't want a Three Stooges 21 Jump Street.
Exactly. I mean, even though it's Police Academy. I don't want like the Three Stooges version of Police Academy either.
Right.
I want them to stick true to Mahoney, to Hightower, to all these guys. So, yeah. But Marion Jones, man, it's every time she took the screen, she made me laugh, and I'll always remember her, man. So, that's how they. So yeah, definitely classic.
Way too young. All right, R.I.P. Marion. All right. So we'll jump to some. We'll talk about this real quick since we have a Pinball Mike here. So we got Arcade 1-Up is coming out. We got this. Man, this thing looks beautiful. I've been tempted to buy one of these Arcade 1-Ups, but they look great. But right now they're coming out with the XMen Arcade, one of my favorite arcade games of all time.
Oh wow.
So we got this. They're also coming out. What was the other one? They're coming out with a Killer Instinct arcade cabinet.
Ooh.
And they're coming out with also, I believe, a Dragon's Lair one also, which is. Was that? Say it again, Mike.
And Tempest and Pong.
Yeah, Tempest one and a Pong
Nice.
table one. These look amazing. I've played these up close. Buddy of mine has one of these. He has the Star Wars one. I've been tempted to buy one of these, man. This X-Men one is probably the closest one I'm going to get to buying one of these because I love that arcade game. I have it on the Xbox 360 arcade, the arcade game. I love this arcade game. The big ass six controller one you see sometimes. I think the Great Emporium on Divisadero.
Okay.
They had the 6-person one, the rare 6-person X-Men arcade cabinet.
Oh, that's a great one. The double screen.
The double screen, one of my favorite games of all time, favorite arcade games. This also comes with Captain America and the Avengers, which is another great arcade game, which is very tempting for me. And it also comes with Avengers Galactic Storm, which I remember kind of being like a fighting game, not really a great game, but just for X-Men and Captain America and the Avengers, I'm very tempted to get this game. I've been wanting one of these, and this is. Man, just the art alone on the side right there and the marquee, it just looks fucking amazing. I'm very tempted. Mike, what do you think of these arcade 1-Ups, man? Interested in any of these?
I am. I do appreciate the artistry of the cabinet. I do like that they're becoming, stand up. I think the Dragon's Lair and the Killer Instinct are smaller cabinets. They're not full size cabs.
Yeah.
And so what you get here is like you get that great artwork.
Yeah.
And with these newer machines, you can even possibly get upgrades to the systems and get more carts added, more games added.
Yeah, you could definitely hack these. I think you can have these new ones are like just like the NBA Jam one are on Wi-Fi, so you can play like if your friend has one of these cabinets, you can play them across country. So that's a very cool thing
Very
too.
neat.
Yeah.
On the pinball side, the electronic pinball scene is becoming more and more prevalent. Where I want to say 4 years ago, 5 years ago, it was just becoming a novelty, and now it's you can get an electronic game and have all the fun in your own scene. So yeah, having these stand-up cabinets is just as exciting.
Yeah, and they're like smaller than a regular arcade. They're like a little that's why they have the boxes you put them on to make them level to the old school arcades. But they fun. They feel really good, man. I've seen there's Outrun coming out. Outrun's one of my favorite games of all time. They have some cool ones coming out. They're getting a lot of licenses, and like the fact that they have multiple games on the cabinet. I wish it was like one of those things where I'm sure people can hack these and like add more games and. I have one of those, like I have every single game ever created.
6 million, yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely want to. If I do get one, I'm hoping to have it, tinkered with, and give me like a couple thousand games on there too. I want to be able to play.
Yeah.
But just to finish, as far as fighting games go, X-Men universe for fighting games is phenomenal fun.
Yeah,
When they cross Street Fighter, it's more silly. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I have so many memories of playing this. It's one of those great side scroller fighting games, man. Just those beat 'em ups. I was a big Nightcrawler guy. I love playing with Nightcrawler. That was
like one of the best powers on that game.
Yeah, he had the best.
Wow.
Like the knock on that game is like the only thing. Well, it's cool when you own the game and you can put unlimited quarters in.
Quarter muncher.
But yeah, you use your powers, you lose energy, and then you have to stuff more quarters in. So this is definitely a game that you need to have like a free play on. Lori, do you remember playing this game at all back in the day?
I don't remember X-Men, but how is that like a? That's not a full size, is it? How big is that?
It's like it's small.
It's like a tabletop or no?
It's probably like half the size of a regular arcade. The regular arcade.
Okay. Oh wow, that's
it's still pretty good.
Expensive.
With the box, you can have it on the eye level as the regular arcade, but it's definitely more smaller. And this one's probably going to be about $500. I think this because it has because it has the four joysticks. You can play
Yeah.
4 people at a time.
Yeah,
And it
I mean
has
those are cool. Yeah, it's a cool game. I mean, if I were a fan of that particular game, I would probably want something like that too. But I mean, I grew up playing also like Frogger and Dig Dug and all those other ones, Q*bert and all those other. I'd love Q*bert. Q*bert would be great.
I think they have a Q*bert.
Do they really? Oh, wow.
They have a Dig Dug. They have
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like our retro vintage gaming is really big right now, and there's a lot of companies doing like mini arcade plug and plays, and but these arcade 1-ups are just amazing, man. Just the quality.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
They're pretty easy, and they're like IKEA furniture. I helped build the Star Wars, and they're pretty easy to put together. It's just kind of a couple tools and put them together.
But I do like the side panels. I mean, they look very authentic and very old school, which I love, and it kind of almost reminds me of Stranger Things, like that would fit right in Stranger Things.
Yeah. And it's the exact art that was on the original arcade, like the exact exact side art. Yes, it was great. Rick, who was your go-to on X-Men?
Oh, X-Men, same thing, Nightcrawler. You know, that the power move where he just jumps all over the screen and he just gets like a mass attack in. It's like it's too hard to not run with like a Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
If my second, of course, you go Wolverine, but I like if I had my choice, it'd be Nightcrawler.
Underrated.
I'm looking at the list here, dude. They got a lot of great games. They got Centipede, Space Invaders, Rampage, Galaga, Marvel superheroes, Street Fighter, Fighter 2, Pac-Man, Golden Tee. So they actually have one with the roller ball, which is kind of cool. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep, that's
you got a TMNT one.
Yeah, that's a popular one. They have the Hunter one with the shotgun. You can like the one from the arcade.
The hunting game, the Big Buck Hunter.
Yeah.
Dude, they got NBA Jams.
Yeah, NBA Jam. I see at Costco. NBA
Jams one I would get.
I've been tempted a couple times. It's like $400.
You know what it is? That to me, NBA Jam. That's a fun. As much as X-Men, I love that X-Men game. If you have it, you're gonna definitely beat it over and over again. But that NBA Jam game, you keep having the friends over. That's like one of those, everybody's like, all right, let's pair up. Who's the new pairing? All right, me and you. Who do you got? What team are we gonna run with? It keeps it going. Especially like Street Fighter, that'd be fun too. But Star Wars, dude, they got a lot of great games, man. They got Miss Pac-Man.
Nice.
They got original Mortal Kombat. Golden Axe.
Yeah,
Burger Time. Fuck, dude, they got a lot of.
I wish they would do more multi-cades because I want all these games in one system because I don't have the room to like.
You'd never leave the house if that's the case. You'd be.
It sucks though because like if they did that, you need one of those standard kind of
port.
Yes, the where you put the joysticks and all the buttons. Yeah, because if you look at the one thing that's awesome, and you look at all of the art on this, the side art is great, but they got the top art on the joysticks and the buttons. I mean, that's part of it right there. Yeah. So I understand them like running like this. If you want like your standalone game, this is like a collector's item. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they have ones out there that you can like that you can port over with like a screen and put like an emulator in there, and you can have like fucking 5,000 games on that guy. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But one of these are collectors, man. These
look sexy as fuck.
They do.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike. Yeah.
I would say, down the street from where I live, there's a laundromat that has 2 full-size cabinets that have, I think, over 120 games on them.
Wow.
And granted, I think like 10 of them I can play because I know the games like that. The other are like, Japanese import games that they just downloaded because they were just
free. A lot of filler games.
I'm not going to say free, but, probably easy to get.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a lot of filler. Those multi-cadence. Yeah.
This is exciting.
Yeah, they're cool, man. They're cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'm tempted to buy this one, man. I was tempted with the NBA Jam. I'm super tempted with this one. And the Captain America and Avengers game is amazing, too. That's a fun game. You can play as Vision, Hawkeye, Captain America, and Iron Man. It's great little beat 'em up too, man. Great game too, man. Nice. I'm very tempted. And the third game is not that great, so but still, that's
which one was the third game?
Avengers: The Galactic Storm. Okay. It was like a 3D rendered game. I remember it not being great, but it's on there. So.
Oh man, what arcade cabinet out of all the ones that you can remember? What game would you guys want?
that they haven't made already.
Well, yeah, that you Ray, it might be Bad Dudes.
The Bad Dudes is actually on the Rampage cabinet.
Oh, nice!
It's one of the games on the Rampage cabinet. Yeah, yeah. As far as the one, yeah, they made a lot of the games that they I would want. So, I don't know, Mike. What about you, man? Any games you want to see them reproduce?
Well, I'm excited about the Tempest version that's coming out.
Oh yeah, that's a great game.
That was a lot of fun. I actually bought an Atari Jaguar so I could play that game.
Wow.
It's still in the living room. So yeah, I can. But coming out, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm really I'm still stuck on what's so out. The Pac-Man, the 4-player Pac-Man game.
Oh yeah, that one's cool.
Great party game. So yeah, more party games maybe. More like the 4-player 2-screen revamps, full cabinets. Yeah. That'd be kind of exciting.
Yeah. What about you, Lori? Any games you want to see?
Well, I remember playing Centipede, which I really liked a lot. Galaga was a huge favorite of mine. I loved Galaga, and then there was Space Invaders and all of those the classic ones. I mean, Donkey Kong, especially Donkey Kong, I think, and then Miss Pac-Man, and like I said, Q*bert and all of Frogger and all of those Dig Dug, all of those great ones from back in my youth.
Yeah. I don't know. This X-Men one would be definitely high on the list. What about you, Rick? Any ones you think that you want to get?
A couple of the shooters that I know that they don't make, the one that you would actually have the gun with the gun swivel.
Terminator?
Terminator would be one. That's one of my favorites. I definitely would like the Terminator game. Also, Operation Wolf was another one.
Oh.
I would like, just because I remember playing it at one game at the AMC Ceremony 6 was Mappy. I love playing Mappy. Yeah, so, and another one from back in the day, man, at the New Mission. Me and my brother Efren, we would take turns with quarters on a game called Bagman. So pretty much a thief who's going inside mines with carts, and a Keystone Cop is chasing you, and you're just grabbing bags of gold, and you're taking it up to the top. It's a fun game, but those are the games that I like. One Life, it's a quarter. Not like today's games. You had to be really good back then.
Yeah.
You know what? You just maybe remember one. Narc would be awesome.
Narc, dude.
Yeah, shooting hookers and grabbing cocaine off the ground.
Getting shot with hypodermic needles.
Yeah, man, that's a classic right there. All right. So speaking of getting shot, like and subscribe to the channel, folks. So there's not really a transition, but if you're watching, share with the friends if they're geeks and you want to, hey, I gotta know this cool site where they talk about geek shit all the time. Like and subscribe and comment. Yeah, man, make some comments. We want to hear your comments. We love hearing folks. Krista, yes,
Hi,
on time.
Krista.
We're on time.
No Hondo.
Pinball effing rocks. Such fire. Pinball does rock. I love pinball. Yeah, what's some of your favorite pinball games, Mike?
Oh God.
Addams Family is definitely on there for me. The whitewater game. The whitewater, I think I forgot what it's called, but it's a whole whitewater kind of theme on the cabinet for the pinball game.
Yeah,
that whole genre of sound cards from that game that goes into Funhouse. It goes into
Funhouse. Yes, Funhouse is awesome, man.
So much fun. That's great.
How do you guys feel about the new pinball machines with all the electronics and stuff like that? Do they do it for you?
I think it's too much. I think it's I like the simplicity of the older games. I think it's when you add TV screens and all these bells and whistles, it kind of takes away from you playing a pinball game. But they look cool. The Batman 66 game looks amazing. I played that one. I think the new Star Wars game is pretty. They're fun, but I don't know. I like the old school.
Yeah, I like the old school. I gravitate towards those.
Late 70s to late 80s pinball era. That's my favorite kind of era.
The artwork on those were always so great because they were so detailed. I remember, I think there was one that was a Knight Rider one. I think I remember playing a Knight Rider one a long time ago, and I used to love that. And I think if you got a point or certain points, the car would say something it would be they would do that, or he would say very good or whatever. I don't remember what it was, but it was I like those old ones. And like I said, they had I think they had a Smokey and the Bandit one. I mean, they had all these great, kind of.
Yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard one. I remember
the
that
Duke
one.
of Hazzard one. They had the model
Dukes of Hazzard one's
he
fun.
showed to the movies and stuff like that. So, and the artwork on there was just incredible, and it's that old nostalgic. You can feel it, if you're standing at the game, you can feel the rocking of it back and forth and the tilting and all of that stuff. So to me, it's much better the old ones. But
when I discovered like recently an old one is the Monday Night Football one.
Really?
It's so like at one point you set up, you can you kick a field goal with the pinball, so like the uprights come up.
Wow!
Oh, that's sick.
You have to hit the pinball and like make a field goal. It's fucking. I'm like, man, I think it's a mid '80s, early '80s.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, does the game date itself with like the artwork, like which
it's like I think early '80s, but it's I was like discovered it's at I think it's at the R Bar by Polk Street.
Oh, okay.
I remember I was like, what the fuck is this? And I had such a great time playing. I was like, man, I would definitely. That's on my. If I become a millionaire, that's on my pinball list right there.
Terminator 2.
Right next to that machine goes the NBA machine that has it's got NBA backglass that dates the machine, and you can pick between the Pacers or the Bulls, and you can play those late or early '90s, late '80s. I can't remember I should look up the machine, but that is so great because it's got the announcer voice from that time, and
Oh wow, neat.
So yeah, that's
sick.
That's one of my favorite machines. That's over at Pinball Pirate in Benicia.
Nice.
Gotta go travel.
Is that place like just all pinball machines?
Pinball machine and workshop, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow, very cool.
Great. My favorite pinball hall is Free Gold Watch, San Francisco.
Free Gold Watch is awesome. Yeah, they're good guys working on. Michelle Morris, hi all. Pinball Pirate has many fun pinball machines for sale.
Nice.
All right, we got that stimulus check coming. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Save up.
Forget rent. We want pinballs.
Yeah, I love pinball's awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan. So yeah, I love playing those old pinball machines for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I miss California Extreme, man. I miss
Oh,
man.
I know, man.
I missed out. Yeah, we got to hang out with Mike last time, man. Yeah, we had some fun. We had we had a lot of fun at that one.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, playing some old. Yeah, everything on free play, all the arcade and pinball games, man. It's one of my highlights of the year. It's usually around my birthday time too, and of course it was canceled because everything's canceled this year. Let's see, Krista Funhouse, yay, Funhouse. Let's see, Jen Expectations, greetings, folks. Dig the Mr. Bungle background behind.
I know, I love that album, dude. Was that Carnival, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, man, people are juiced, man. Mr. Bungle.
Oh man, great fucking singer, dude.
That new album is actually a really decent listen.
Nice.
So we released the Wrath of the Easter Bunny. That was a good listen too. So good job, Mike Patton.
Oh, man. Love Mike Patton.
All right, so we're gonna jump to this is from Deadline. Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem are in negotiations to play Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz in Amazon, and Aaron Sorkin's Being the Ricardos. Best title ever. The film is about the relationship between I Love Lucy stars. Having Sorkin penned the screenplay. He's also going to direct. I guess he had a lot of fun directing the Chicago 8, Trial of the Chicago 8, which I haven't seen. It looks really good with the Sacha Baron Cohen and a bunch of Eddie Redmayne's in it. It looks like a great movie. I think it's on Netflix. Or maybe is it Amazon? Might be on Amazon. So it looks like he had a fun time doing that. So he's jumping back into the director's chair for this. So the film is set to take place during the production week of I Love Lucy, from the start of the Monday table read to the through the audience filming on Friday. And so it looks like it's a week where they were kind of like facing a crisis of their careers and their marriage and stuff. I don't know about the Lucy. I don't know about the casting of this movie. It could be really bad or really horrible. Apparently, Kate Blanchett was rumored to be Lucy. I'd rather have Kate Blanchett than Kidman. So I'll go to you, Lori, first on this. What do you think of the casting of Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem?
I mean, they're both fantastic actors, and Aaron Sorkin is great. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a very odd choice because we know what kind of a character they both are. I mean, they're both such strong individual characters by themselves. And I don't know, I mean, because Javier Bardem is such a dramatic actor, and I think Rick brought up a point on Facebook that he doesn't have that comedy kind of element to him. I mean, especially after No Country for Old Men. I mean, you look at him there, you're just like, holy crap, you know. But I don't know.
That was the feel-good comedy of the year. What are you talking about?
Exactly. And I don't know. I guess the fact that he's not Cuban, and I know that again, Rick had the whole thing about it's not necessarily cultural appropriation, but it's just a different kind of culture. So it's a different type thing. I mean, who knows? We'll see. I would prefer Cate Blanchett personally because I adore her. I think she would probably have been a much better choice. Or even, I know that. Yeah, I mean, someone else. I mean, who knows? We'll see.
Nicole Kidman. She's never really been funny in a movie. I can't remember a time where even when she was popped up in a comedy here and there, she wasn't really. I never really stood out to me. And Lucille Ball is like one of the all-time classic.
Oh yeah,
funny comedians. Like she's like all-timer. So what about you, Mike? What do you think of this casting?
Confusing.
Yes.
I actually did into my pot for this one. I said, "Hey, Dad, remember the guy from Old Country for Old Men?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "What do you think about him being Lucille Ball's love interest?" And he kind of went, and of course, I presented the question in such a weird way. Of course, you'd go, "Huh?"
Yeah.
And it seems silly, you know. I don't know if you'd be able to pull off that accent with that enthusiasm that character had. And granted, I'm sure it's the theory is it's behind the scenes, and you get to see the more raw version of him possibly. But and Lucille Ball is a fiery redhead, whom just because you may have a nose feature that may emulate her, or emulate hers, or sorry, but I don't know. It seems very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like a grab for, hey, I like them, I remember them. I'll do that, sure. I don't know.
Yeah, and Aaron Sorkin, he's a great writer. I think he's definitely one of the best writers working today, man. Like I love Social Network. I love some of his flicks are really he's really well written. Rick, did you see Trial of the Chicago 7 at all?
No, not yet. It's on my queue to watch.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of stuff. So.
Okay, Rick.
All right.
At least the
Beast. Yeah. So it comes for me. It comes because I grew up watching Nick at Night. You know, I'm a Nick at Night kid, so I definitely was watching
Rick at Night. You mean?
Yeah, I was. That's a different story. So I was watching I Love Lucy for a long time. You know, I used to watch it with my parents when I was like pretty much like 5, 6, 7 years old when I was growing up. They watched I watched what they watched. They watch I Love Lucy. So I don't know who's doing the casting, but what are you guys casting for? Are you guys doing like the 6 feet under version of like? It's like that's what I'm like. Are they going for like the dark ass version of like I Love Lucy? You know, fucking like behind doors, Javier Bardem's gonna be the, Desi Shiger or whatever. I don't see it, especially that Desi is so like he's a very animated dude. Like it's his facial expressions are everything. I mean, Javier Bardem got great facial expressions, but usually it's that cold stare that he does at you, that emotionless stare. Desi is just pure joy and emotion, and everything he does is super exaggerated when he was on the show, of course. Yeah. But I don't know what they're going for. I would hope that they would cast somebody unknown for Desi. And Nicole Kidman, I don't even want to start there. The voice does not match for Lucille Ball. She does not match that voice. She doesn't. Yeah, she's not going to have that. She's not going to have. Nicole Kidman's great, but I'm sorry. That's you can't. No. I mean, people have been saying Deborah Messing. I've even been saying no. Lucille Ball's an icon.
Yeah,
we're throwing that name around, but that word around. But she is an icon.
Yeah.
Well, and she was also, I think, one of the first women to actually be like have her own studio, because Desi Lu back in the day, she was a pioneer with that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
She was a savvy businesswoman. She made damn sure that she had control of everything, and she was. You have to have the most precise comic timing if you're going to be doing an icon like that woman. I mean, how many female comedians owe her a huge debt to because of their careers?
Shit, I could say goddamn near all of them.
Pretty much, I mean, Anyway,
Yeah, I'm trying to think like who do you cast? Like I was thinking
I would love to go unknown. I mean,
for Lucy.
well, somebody has to carry it, right? You know,
I want to
but
say
it's
Kristen
hard.
Wiig, but she wrote it in Wonder Woman. I know it says it needs
Kristen
to be.
Wiig. That's Kristen Wiig's actually not a bad choice, but the problem is, are you going to get Kristen Wiig?
Yeah. See, the thing is, she's going to turn into a sketch. It's going to be like.
Yeah, I don't want it to be a sketch. It's not an SNL sketch.
I don't want to see a parody of Lucy. I want to see get the S character. I think Kate Blanchett would have been a great casting.
Oh, yeah.
her.
because she's the kind of person that can disappear into those roles, and you wouldn't even.
Yeah, she's charming, and she probably could do a great job on the voice and stuff too. So I don't know. This is interesting. You know, it's not a movie I would pay for, but if this shows up on streaming and there's nothing else to watch, I'll probably I definitely want to see the trial of the Chicago.
Who's going to be streaming this?
It looks like Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this looks like Amazon. So what do you think of Aaron Sorkin directing? I guess you can't really tell if you haven't seen
Well, he's a phenomenal playwright. I mean, some of his plays are some of my favorite things, and even it's so weird how you look at on their IMDb page and you go, holy crap, he did that. I mean, all this insane resume that he has is pretty amazing. I mean, he's a good director. I think I've seen a couple of other things that he's directed, and because I think he has a theater background, it helps, at least for me as someone who's a director as well. And he understands actors, I think, a little bit more than directors that aren't either actors or playwrights. So, but yeah, we'll see. It might work. Who knows?
We'll see. I'm not until I see a trailer and he does something to amaze me. I can't be really too excited about this. It is if you look into their lives, they are fascinating characters and fascinating.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be definitely something to check out. I remember the TV movie back in the 80s. Lucy and Desi back in like a really cheesy TV movie back in the day, and there was definitely like a lot of tension between them, a lot of the inner workings of running this empire and being a mixed couple on TV.
Yeah, true.
That's huge. A Cuban man and a white lady being together. That's that was breaking ground back then too. So. A lot of pressure.
I think and wasn't the whole thing about also her being like pregnant and all of that stuff, and I mean, like Desi Arnaz Jr. and I mean, all of that was groundbreaking at that point in time. There really wasn't anything on TV showing a woman, that's kind of like you said, that's pregnant and whatnot. So, yeah,
it's interesting stuff for sure. All right, let's see. We got California Extreme is coming back ASAP. Michelle, I hope so.
So do I.
2022. 2022 feels like that's when it's going to happen. But we'll see. I'm hoping for conventions. I'm hoping for movie theaters and stuff.
Yeah, Comic-Con's supposedly still going on. We'll see.
Yeah, I think 2022. I think we're going to get everything back in 2022. Hopefully, beginning of 2022. That's when.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, if some miracle happens, but I don't know. The way things are going, the way things are being ran right now, I don't know if that's going to be happening. All right. So let's. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, comment. We love to hear your comments on stuff. Like the video, it helps with the algorithm, lets people, more people see the videos. And if you like this stuff, we have unboxings on here. I did a unboxing the last few weeks. We did a Hollywood Hogan. We did a Green Ranger. We did a what was the other one? Oh, Batman. Batman. Yeah. So go check those out. Unboxings are fun. We got some more stuff coming hopefully soon. And we're also doing a WandaVision after show, just like we did the Mandalorian after show, Fridays afternoon, barring some schedules. We'll try to get some folks on who can make it, but afternoons, early afternoons, we're going to be dropping those. So if you want to come in and talk about WandaVision, we're going to be talking about that as long as the show's running. Come check that out. Anything else we have to plug, Rick?
No.
Okay, there you go. All right. All right, so let's go to this Deadpool 3 news. This is kind of like there's been a lot of talk about Deadpool coming into the MCU. Deadpool, of course, is a very the first two movies are very rated R, and so one of the big questions when Disney bought Fox and they have all the X-Men characters, which included Deadpool in that purchase. What are they going to do with Deadpool? They tried to release the PG-13 Deadpool 2 during Christmas time after the movie, just kind of test the waters and see how the audience would react to a PG-13 version of the character. But it looks like they're gonna shoot it rated R, and they're gonna shoot for a rated R. Kevin Feige came out and talked about it, and he had a couple notes and stuff. But I'm glad they're going with rated R. I'm just kind of worried. I didn't think Deadpool 2 was that great of a movie. I thought it was kind of. I think losing Tim Miller as a director, kind of that balance to Ryan Reynolds, kind of lost some of the charm of the first movie. Even though I think the first movie's kind of overrated too. It's still a good movie, but I think there's some issues with that. But I still like the character. I still like the fact that it's rated R, and we still are going to get some rated R superheroes in the MCU in that world. So, Mike, what do you think about this, man? Deadpool 3 need to be rated R? Do you care? Do you really care if it's rated R at all?
Totally should be rated R. I think the fact that it's been able to carry its hard R, well, except for the 2, or at least start with the hard R, made it worthwhile. I mean, as a comic, you wanted to, I don't know, transfer to film right. So you keep the character right, let the studios expand him, and let Ryan Reynolds continue letting him do magic.
Yeah, make that money.
Yeah. Make us happy.
Yeah. To be honest, like the character wasn't rated R in the comic. Like he was, he didn't curse and he couldn't in the comics. But it definitely for the live action, he needs to be rated R. It definitely brings a certain aspect because the character is uncensored. He should be uncensored on screen.
Sure.
So Lori, what about you? What do you think of this?
Yeah, I'm glad that they're doing it because there are certain one I was actually shocked at how irreverent it was and how tongue in cheek it was, and certain jokes I was like, oh damn, they actually went there, okay. And then the second one, like you said, was good, but it still didn't have the oomph that the first one did. So I'm glad that they're kind of going there because there are certain times when you need the rated R because it just makes more sense in the general aspect of the entire film. So, and I think Ryan Reynolds does a great job in conveying that, as he can do those jokes very, very well and have punchlines and just get them across really well. So I'm glad that that's happening.
Yeah, he's fun. Yeah, he's definitely the best casting for Deadpool. I think he's the perfect guy, and he wanted to play the role for a long time. And he was in that shitty XMen Origins Wolverine movie just because he loved the character so much. And of course, they sewed his mouth shut, and the rest is history. Effort. So, what do you think of this news?
Oh, I'm happy as shit. Especially that I just want to know if Disney's going to put their Disney thing at the beginning of it. They don't put Disney in front of anything else, do they? It says Marvel Studios, right?
This probably might go under the Fox banner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're going to throw above it.
I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to go under Fox.
It's going to say Fox, but then it's going to be Marvel Studios. They're going to put that Marvel Studios thing.
It's was it Fox Studios now?
Mm-hmm. Fox Studios. No, not Fox Studios. It's 20th Century Studios.
20th Century Studios. That's right. Yeah, they want to go away from the Fox name. Yeah, that's right. It's going to be under that banner. So bring back Touchstone. Fuck.
Oh, dude. Well, I know that they, Deadpool's never been, with foul mouth how he is. I mean, maybe like a blurb with a whole bunch of symbols, after he stubs his toe or something like that, or get me a fucking chimichanga. But he doesn't say he's not dropping F-bombs every fucking time. He is rated R in the sense that he's blowing people away. He has style when he does it. He nobody fucking kills somebody else like Deadpool does. So it's they have to keep rated R exclusively just for that. But Ryan Reynolds is smart. He's like, shit, if I already got an R rating, I'm gonna go fucking balls to the wall.
Might as well, exactly.
Yeah. So it's and I agree with him. If you already got that hard R rating, just why censor yourself? People are gonna be like, oh, for the kids. I'm like, well, kids aren't supposed to see this shit.
No, it should be noted that.
So yeah.
Ryan Reynolds even said so, that this carries weight, and there's an adult section to everything in life, and this is one of those things. And and also my question is does this hard R for Deadpool give the characters within his movie universe permission to be that, I don't know, extra graphic?
I think certain things will like go under that banner, but I think this is going to be like the R part of the universe. Like he's going to show up in an Avengers movie, and I think they're going to run with the. I think they're going to run with the joke where he's censoring. He's kind of getting censored, and like he's it's in his mind that he's being like bleeped, and like he's like no one else can see it, but he's being bleeped in his mind. Yeah. And so he's trying to, it's going to be the football thing where I can see that have a running joke where he's going to show up in the Avengers and be like, bleep this. Like, why can't I curse? Like, it's just going to be because he's fucking insane. So I think you can definitely do it and make it kind of make sense within the universe. Because I would love to see a Deadpool show up in an Avengers movie. I would love to see him interact with, Doctor Strange and, all these other Spider-Man and all these other characters. So you're definitely going to see him pop up at some point in the MCU. And there was a lot of other news. Feige there's a lot of kind of rumors and speculation coming out. A lot of stuff is going into production right now. For Thor 4, Spider-Man 3s should be done. Doctor Strange 2 is gonna should be starting production very soon. Black Panther 2 and Captain Marvel 2 looks like this is all gonna be start filming this year. For like the next couple of years are gonna be stacked. It doesn't look like it's gonna happen until 2023. Like this probably won't realistically happen until 2023. There was another big rumor this week. I didn't put it in the docket, but I guess we could really kind of talk about it a little bit. Black Panther 2. This has been kind of a rumor for a minute. That Black Panther 2 is going to be the introduction of Doctor Doom into the MCU. Like one of the big rumors for Black Panther 2 was going to be Atlantis, War with Atlantis, and you might have Latveria kind of like thrown in the mix too. So kind of a triple threat of countries going at it. So if they do this for Black Panther 2, it definitely is going to escalate my anticipation for Black Panther 2. Of course, they don't have T'Challa, but that's a whole nother issue. Yeah. But they're saying their big rumor is that this is going to be full Doctor Doom. It's not going to be Victor Von Doom. This is going to be full armored Doctor Doom, but they're probably going to do some stuff about his origin and stuff later on. But Mike, what do you think, man? Doctor Doom showing up in Black Panther 2?
That seems exciting but confusing again. I don't know why, because it seems like he would pop up in the Fantastic Four universe in a vehicle. But I mean, if you're going to go back and this is an introduction for fans, like a teaser, if you will. Like here, we've sprinkled this character into our universe. You can see
Black Panther did start off in the Fantastic Four too. So
you're right. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. And Namor has a lot of ties to Fantastic Four, so it's definitely the Fantastic Four is going to be one of the next phases. But yeah, if he shows up in Black Panther, it kind of makes sense. Kind of introduce Latveria and who these guys are, because I kind of don't want to see Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four right away, because they've already had 3 chances with Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four. I don't see them like, I want to know they're connected, but I don't want to see them interact for a while.
So yeah, and so again on that note, I'm excited that you'll get introduced this way, kind of like how Silver Surfer should have been connected to Fantastic Four, but he wasn't. He was given his own universe, and then sprinkles it in the Marvel universe as they can do with these great characters. So yeah, Victor Von Doom will be very exciting to see how they flesh him out, how they introduce him. I think that'll be worth a watch.
Yeah, and like it looks like he's going to be the big bad for this next the next few phases. Like he's going to be the Thanos level, like because he's just one of those villains that interacts with every corner of the Marvel universe. So he's definitely going to be like a big part of it. And I want a Doom TV show. I want a Doom origin TV show. Like I hope they do that on Disney Plus. Like I have like him as Doctor Doom in these movies, but I want to see a Victor Von Doom, like him as a child, and like kind of like see how he became Doctor Doom. So hopefully they go at that route. Well, I think they're going to do it because I think these TV they already said the TV shows are the future. This is what's going to be the big thing for them. Lori, what do you think about that, man? Dr. Doom showing up in
Well, I actually didn't see Black Panther, so I'm probably one of the only people on the planet that hasn't seen it. So I mean, I'm sure it's going to be an interesting thing. But I did read about that they're going to be doing. They said that there's more to Wakanda than just Chadwick's character, that they're going to have someone else. I think Michael B. Jordan's character, I think, take over. So we'll see. I mean, it's going to be, like Mike said, it's going to be interesting to kind of see how they sprinkle him in, so to speak. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Rick, what do you think of the triple threat match, man? Atlantis, Latveria, and Wakanda going at it.
Oh, I like the idea of it, but the one thing is they're gonna put this as part of like Black Panther 2 with no Black Panther, and you're gonna introduce Doom. Like, there's a lot to process right there. I mean, don't you need your titular hero to come out and like fight off the big bad, but you have no Black Panther. I'm hoping it's one of those things where like, yeah, they're saying they're not going to recast T'Challa. I understand that, but somebody else has to take the mantle of Black Panther. So, I mean, I always said that I think Michael B. Jordan to kill off Killmonger was one of the stupidest fucking things. They're always killing off villains, and I don't understand that. They need to stop doing that. Don't kill your villains off. Have them like run away, saunter off, like ha ha ha. I'll be back another day.
Yeah.
You know, like, honestly, we've seen it for years. You know, I watched Inspector Gadget. Dr. Claw always.
Yeah.
Next time, Gadget.
Yeah. Right. So that's. I don't know how you can have Black Panther without Black Panther, and especially introducing Doom. And if they introduce Atlantis, then you have Namor too. That you need somebody to come in. You need Black Panther in there. I understand not T'Challa, but you need Black Panther.
Yeah. Somebody that's gonna like go up, like those are two of the biggest heavy hitters in the Marvel universe, man. Namor and fucking Doctor Doom coming in. That's some like big time. You need somebody to not to defeat them, but just to like
to fight them off.
To be on, like not having T'Challa is really gonna hurt this movie. But yeah, you need somebody to come in, man, and take that role. I'm sorry, but like all the fans speaking about Shuri taking over, I don't see
not
her.
Against those two enemies.
Yeah, I like her as a character. I think she's a great character, but I don't see her like stepping up to Namor and like fucking taking him out, or being like that regal, like I'm the Queen of Wakanda. Like you're not gonna like I don't see that. Like I don't see that the character arc for her.
She's a young Avenger right now. She's not this level yet. I would see that from what was the Captain of the Guard's name?
That was my pick.
Niagara. I could see her doing that shit.
That was my pick for Black Panther. I want to see her take over. If they're gonna go that route, I want to
beat somebody's ass.
I wouldn't mind seeing her Michonne fucking be the new Black Panther. I'm down with that. She was badass in those movies. So I will see, man. I'm of course I'm excited about Doctor Doom. Anything. So I'm very excited how they're gonna dole this character out. And I think they know they have gold here, and they know this character has been misused for so many years, and the fans have been clamoring for this character to be done right. And they need a big bad for this next series.
He's a logical step.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is the next logical step for this series. So I'm excited, man. One reason to stay alive is just to see Doctor Doom done right. That's my mantra. All right. All right. Well, so we'll jump to some other Marvel news. This is a hot button issue for sure. So over the years, slowly you kind of seen this kind of happen with the movie American Sniper kind of shed light on some of this. The character in the movie was a big Punisher fan. And they showed him reading Punisher comics. A lot of military guys have taken the skull, the Punisher skull logo, and kind of adapted it to their their life. So basically, this during the past week, we saw our raid on our Capitol. A lot of people were wearing the Punisher logo, and so a lot of this has come up recently where they a lot of people want to get rid of the logo, get rid of the character Frank Castle, and retire the character. Even the creator has come out and said he hates the fact that this certain sect of society has taken over the Punisher, but. I think this is a bad precedent to set for a character to let a group take him and make it their own. This happened with the Pepe the Frog a few years ago, where they a certain group kind of took the character and kind of warped it and kind of made it their own. I think canceling Punisher and getting rid of the character and getting rid of the logo is you kind of give it to them. You kind of say, okay, you're going to have this now. You're just going to turn it into where, okay, we want that it's ours now. You guys don't have this now. I think what Marvel needs to do is just fucking lawyer up. Anybody that uses this fucking logo, selling it, whatever, gets sued. They have the rights to this logo. They should be using that right. Don't cancel this. Frank Castle is a great character. He fought against. He would be fighting these guys.
He'd be fighting these guys.
These are the motherfuckers he would rail against. corrupt cops, fucking bad motherfuckers, terrorists. Punisher would be going after these motherfuckers. So the fact that they adopted this logo as their own, fuck that. And you're going to cancel Frank Castle and you're going to cancel the Punisher and get rid of the logo just because some assholes want to adapt it as their fucking in their sick mind thinking that, oh, we're doing right. No, take that shit back. That's not their logo. That doesn't. They have a logo. It's the Hydra logo. That's the one they should be using because they're a bunch of fucking Nazi fucking assholes. They don't get to dictate what characters get to be and what have you. Fuck them. That Punisher. No, don't cop out and let them have it and like, oh, we're gonna retire this logo now. That just means they're gonna use it more. That means they're gonna be like, oh, that's our logo now because we want it. They don't want it. They're gonna cancel Punisher, so therefore it's ours now. And you're gonna see that place there? No. Fuck that. You have your Disney fucking lawyers. Lawyer up and fucking take that shit back. Fuck those motherfuckers. So, Mike, how do you feel?
Went out. I got all my Punisher out comments.
Burn them. Burn them.
Yeah. I got them all out. And this was the only one I could find where he was not really. Right. Lawyer up. Get your character back. You don't need to cancel him. He is an icon from issue 1 about a man in recovery doing the right thing.
Yeah.
That's the core value to this man. And you're right. He would be fighting today. Indeed, he would.
Yeah, he would be on the top of those steps taking motherfuckers out.
Especially the guy with the horns, yes.
Extreme prejudice.
Nick Mullins is feeling it. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, and just I also
preach, Ray, preach.
He also had great crossovers, like with Cable and the Punisher. So like you know what side the Punisher's fighting on.
Yeah, that was during the era where he turned into a black man for a couple issues. Remember that in the early '90s? Yeah, Punisher was weird in the '90s, man.
And I even had the Punisher 2099. It's even fine. A great big issue.
Oh, that's good. That's in the collection, Epic collection I have.
That's a great one.
The art's amazing in that story.
Arts are amazing in these.
Yeah.
The cover looked amazing on this.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Cover.
Yeah.
So it's sad that you're able to. Media can latch on to the one thing that they don't like and go, oh, look, this one person abused it, so we're going to take away from everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And no, you're letting these motherfuckers win. Don't give them the satisfaction, man. Don't give them, don't let them have that. That's ours. Fuck that. We had that shit first. You don't get the, just because, you think that's cool. Oh, he goes around shooting people, so therefore he's ours. Fuck you, man. You totally did. I guarantee these motherfuckers never read the works of fucking Stan Lee or fucking any of these, any of these writers that, preach fucking tolerance and shit back in the day. Yeah. These guys, they read a couple issues where Punisher shoots a couple people and they think they're a comic book expert and they get to keep the logo. Fuck that. Lori, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm right there with you, especially the fact that, like you were saying, they don't really understand what he stands for, and he would be the one railing against them and just, he would be doling out his own justice, but for good, not for evil. And it's bothered me the fact that also it's like, if we give them this, then what else are they going to try to take? What other kind of logo are they going to try to take? What else are they going to try to claim as their own? And it's just wrong in general. And I mean, watching the Punisher series on Netflix, which I have to finish, but is a great series, which you have to see. Ray, I know you haven't seen. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it's just wrong that like you said, they probably haven't even looked at a single issue or even know what the Punisher stands for. And it's like, it's awful, and they need to just stop. And it's also, I'm sorry to say it, but if they do give in to them, no, it's like you just might as well, it's like the cancel culture. You can't just because one person fucked it up, it doesn't mean that they take it away. So they've got to stand tall, sue the shit out of them if you see someone with it. It's like,
Disney has lawyers. All these
Probably the best lawyers, probably.
They're buying this shit. They go after motherfuckers on YouTube, like using their fucking music for movies, their clips. I've been to gun shows before. There's Punisher shit all over the place, man. Go to that place and sue the shit out of all these guys. Like, no, take that shit back, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All right, Alfred, you have nothing to say about this, right?
So the thing that makes me upset is not so much those people fucking taking the symbol, because stupid people are going to do stupid shit. That's
True.
just, it is what it is. It's the people who are saying to cancel this. What's next? Captain, they're walking around with Captain America suits out there too. Are they going to cancel Captain America? I saw these fucking assholes jumping around listening to, of all fucking things, Rage Against the Machine.
I know. The irony is just
fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. And
beyond.
no, well, that's the thing. I mean, you guys don't understand that when you guys are fucking rocking out to that funky Tom Morello riff, he has "fuck Trump" written on the back of it, or he has a fucking "fuck Trump" sticker on the back of his guitar. They do not understand what they have. The thing is, there's this thing where people see the skull and they're like, oh, he's just the killer. Try, it's a story about somebody who lost his family to organized crime. And what did he do? He went after the criminals. Criminals.
Corrupt.
He didn't go after regular people. He didn't go after he didn't go after Congress. He didn't go after these people.
Yeah.
He would be you guys are all right. He'd be going after all of these people. He'd be the guy waiting for everybody as they're going home, snatching them up, making sure they don't do this again.
Yeah.
So people, it's like I'm not. I'll say it right now. I'm not left. I'm not right. It's just I have independent thought. I'm not beholden to anybody's like ideals. I have my own ideals, and I'm gonna just run with how I feel and what's right. And usually, hopefully, I'm on the side of righteousness, not like these fucking assholes who are all fucked up. But those people who want to cancel this shit, you need to take a look in the mirror, because that's all you guys have been trying to do is cancel things left and right because you don't agree with them. This is America, guys. This is America. We just can't be canceling shit that we don't like. We have to fucking live with these people. As much as I hate them, it's just like, hey, my fellow Americans, I may hate you, but I'm not going to go and try to fucking rough you up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to fight you. I can have a disagreement with you and let it be that. Hey, you know what? That's just like your opinion, man. Just like I post all the time with the dude. It's just like your opinion. Everybody has one. So, but fuck all those people who want to do the canceling. For all the people who are using this symbol, you guys are idiots. Of course, we already knew that. You guys are dumb as shit. But for the other people, be smarter. You guys are supposed to be the smarter ones.
Don't let them win, man.
Yeah,
even in like a recent Punisher comic, they've kind of addressed this, where he's kind of reprimanding a cop for wearing his logo. Like you don't get to wear that logo. That you don't get what that logo represents. And so it's reactionary. It's like you see this and people want to they see a thread and like, oh yeah, I agree with that. I don't know. I think you can't let these motherfuckers win. And giving them this, you're just gonna give them you're just gonna give more credence to that power, and you're gonna see that shit even more. So, like I said, lawyer up, Disney. Fuck these guys. What's next? You can the Superman symbol. Yeah, you can take that away. Like somebody's gonna wear a Superman symbol in the wrong thing, or I'm sure a lot of these guys are Batman fans too. That rich white guy, beating up fucking criminals. Yeah.
Watch him start appropriating the Homelander next. Right?
Oh yeah. Oh, he's the real hero.
No doubt.
It's reactionary right now, but I don't go. I think Frank Castle is a great character, man. Sure. I think it's even more relevant now that
very much so.
Just getting rid of the character, getting rid of the logo, that's not going to solve any issues. It's just gonna it's not going to really fix the problem. It's going to put a Band-Aid on a fucking gunshot wound. So I think they need to fucking really look at why don't let them have this. They've already taken a lot from America, and they've already taken a lot from us. Don't let them take this too. What's next? So I think
it's like it's like the guys that hide behind the it's the evangelicals. It's the same thing. They, hide behind the Bible or behind their Christianity, and all of this stuff. And yet they're some of the most corrupt people around because they use that as
charlatans. Charlatans.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's ridiculous. So
charlatans.
Sorry, man.
Charlatans. Mark Hamill, yes.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but don't cancel the character, don't get rid of him. Just hey, this is a great comic to be written. This fucking Punisher versus fucking white nationalist. That sounds like a story that's already written itself. Fuck,
starting to hunt these fuckers down.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's hey, we'll see how it plays out, but yeah, don't get rid of the character, man. All right, so. If you like our rants, please like and subscribe to the channel. Hulk smash the like button. Like the video. And we got No More Comics. Cool. Let's see. All right, let's go. I'll talk about this real quick. So Death Metal 7 came out. So this has been the end of this long reign. Let me take this off. So Death Metal 7. So it's pretty much the restart of the DC universe. The DC universe has kind of been a mess with continuity for the last few years. Kind of been all over the place. And so with this issue, which I thought was actually pretty good, they kind of explain what the future holds for the DC universe. Everything counts. Like everything, even like the storylines that were happening this past year or so, like kind of like people who died are coming back, whatever. So it's pretty much resetting itself. So they're pretty much going like everything counts. There's multiverses to multiverses. Every storyline, if it pertains to a certain storyline, it's good. People are going to remember it. So it's pretty much going to be like writers come in. It's like, oh, I want to do a storyline about that happened, so they could bring it into continuity. So it's kind of. I actually enjoyed this issue. I thought it was a good way. It's a good way to explain how the new universe works, and this is kind of what they've been doing already. I've heard mixed things about the Future Slate books that are coming out recently. I got the Flash one, which had an excellent cover, but the story's kind of all over. Great cover, Wally West. Dope. Yeah.
Who did the cover? Who did the cover art?
What the hell's his name? Kane.
Dale. Oh, was it Keown? Dale Keown?
Dale Keown. Kane. A great cover. But yeah, it's kind of like a reintroduction, kind of like jumping ahead. It was pretty much what they were going to do when Dan Didio was around. They were going to kind of like move ahead like a few years and then kind of deal with all these future like characters in the future. But that's kind of scrapped. But they're kind of like doling out some of the storylines that were going to come out of that. I actually really like this series went on way too long. I think it went on 3 issues too long. All the tie-ins were too much, but I kind of like what they're doing with the DC universe, kind of bringing all like the multiversity stuff. You read Grant Morrison's Multiversity, all the crises and all the reboots they've been trying to do over the last like 10, 15 years. So everything counts. Everything's in continuity. There's multiverses upon multiverses. The multiple Earths are all back. So it definitely kind of makes sense for what they're doing. Everything counts, and they and the best thing is that they got kind of set Wally West right, which is my biggest issue with the DC universe in the past like 5 years. If you know me, I've been ranting about this for years. But I kind of like the story. I kind of like where it's going. Mike, have you read any recent DC stuff at all?
I haven't. I can't say I picked up a recent DC.
How do you feel about continuity in their comic? Do you like everything counting? Do you like reboots? Do you what's your stance?
Like in counting, I do like the continuity because I'm a 80s comic book reader. When you had to follow different, you couldn't just read Web of Spider-Man. You had to read Amazing Spider-Man and Spectacular Peter Parker to all the Spectacular Spider-Man to catch the continuity of all the stories.
Yeah,
or either wait for the omnibus to come out or something.
Condo.
So yeah, I do appreciate the continuity. As far as starting a whole universe over again, if the DC universe needed that, I believe, good on you. Star Wars could do it, and why not you?
Yeah, and they've done it like a bunch of reboots and like way too many in like a short amount of time, and none of it felt right. Like the worst one was the New 52. Like they kind of tried to reboot everything, like threw away all the stories, like characters you cared about were no like they didn't explain how they left, and like kind of like rebooted and like kind of like tried to start off fresh. But it just kind of went into the old pigeonhole. Like, okay, you're retelling the same stories that I've already been told. Why can't we just have this count? So I think it's kind of it was kind of a mess for a long time, but it looks like it's kind of brightened the ship a little bit. Lori, what's your stance on the DC universe?
I don't really know that much. I mean, too much about it, but you know, I mean, the cover art from what you showed was just really amazing, and yeah, I mean, more power to them if they want to start again with the continuity and all of that stuff. Because continuity, for someone who's a filmmaker like I am, and I watch enough damn movies, continuity is key, and it drives me nuts when things are when there's like a breach in continuity. I'm like, continuity, it drives me nuts. But I'm sure it looks great, so hopefully it'll you know kind of go back to good stuff. So
yeah. What are you saying, Mike?
I was gonna say it's probably a good chance. You always say it again, say it once more, say it still once more. And so these are all stories that we know, and these are artists that want to draw the stories that they know. So there'll be a chance for them to maybe get some amazing that cover. What I was saying.
Yeah,
it was really nice.
Picked up the Future State Swamp Thing from Flying Color State. Tried to look for that Finch Death Metal 3-7. Yeah, Finch. I love Devin Finch, man. Great artist. So Rick, what do you think about all this, man?
I don't know. I kind of like the whole continuity thing. The thing is, what I think screws everybody up is that sometimes you'll have a writer who's in there who just goes rogue and introduces something that people weren't ready for. It's like, well, this is my my contribution to the whole thing. It's like, nobody asked you for it, bro. I'm sorry. Just keep writing the stories. They give you Batman. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna have to introduce a new villain for this storyline. We're gonna introduce, Jalopy Man or some shit like that. I don't know. It's just it's the whole thing is I love world building. I want to know that the effects of what happens in Nightwing when it's referenced in in Batman, that it's correct. It's not one of those things where, oh, he was fighting Blockbusters. Like, no, Blockbuster's been dead for a while. Why didn't you know that? Especially like in a book like Batman, where the guy's supposed to know everything about everybody, and all of a sudden the continuity goes a little wonky. But I don't know. There's just too many hands in the cookie pot. You know what I mean? If it was something like, if it was cohesive, I hate fucking to compare DC to fucking Marvel. I really do. But Marvel's had from what you show me, Ray, like Marvel's been doing a lot better stuff with their storylines. I don't know if because they have different universes. Like, what is it? The sixth one?
They did. They had the Ultimate Universe and the sixth.
But they don't have it anymore?
They combined them during the Secret Wars a couple of years ago. The Jonathan Hickman Secret, they kind of combined the universes, and it makes sense. Like and they pretty much did the exact same thing that DC did with Crisis in the '80s. Kind of just like, oh, we had the Earth 1, Earth 2, whatever.
I love Crisis, but because that one actually it weaved. It weaved really well. It's all these comics. It's cliche. It's a tapestry. All these storylines intertwine. They all connect. If I get referenced something that Wonder Woman did in one book, it better happen in Wonder Woman. If Wonder Woman says something with a villain that's dead, I don't want to see that villain alive in another book.
Or explain yourself if they're gonna show
exactly. Because I think that's the problem with a lot of comic books. Sometimes, like, one writer does. It's like, I hate bringing up his name, but everybody goes Ryan Johnson every now and then. I hate that guy.
I think we all do.
Yeah,
he's a Tom King of filmmaking. Yeah.
Oh, don't. Everybody was loving Tom King a while back. Now all of a sudden it's a hate. But I don't think nobody ever really loved Ryan Johnson. So.
And he wrote fucking Heroes in Crisis. It was over. His vision was actually pretty good. Let's see. All right. So some of the best, like we talked about this before, some of the best Superman stories are not in continuity. Like Red Sun is not in continuity. All-Star Superman, like some of the best Superman stories are not. So I think it's definitely overweight. But if you're gonna do a book month to month, and I'm gonna be reading that book, I want it to count. I want like the shit I've been reading to count. That's why I was so upset in the was it the mid '90s when they took the late 90s, early 2000s when they took the marriage away from Peter Parker and Mary Jane. Like they're just like, oh no, that didn't happen. What the fuck? I've been reading for like this past like 20 years, and then you're just gonna up and say, oh, they're not married anymore. Like he made a deal and totally against what the character I've been reading about is. It just ruined it. So I think. I kind of like what the DC's doing. Like they're saying, all right, everything counts. We're just saying, say, fuck it, everything counts. You want to bring this in, that in. All right, that's the only way to explain it because they've made such a mess of their universe in the last fucking few years with the rebirth, all this shit, and it's just, oh man, event after event trying to explain their continuity and the multiverse, whatever. I think this is the way you need to go. Just say, fuck it, everything's fucking continuity, everything fucking counts. And I enjoyed the story. Like I said, if it was 2 issues less, I think it would have been a great story. All the tie-ins kind of ruined it too. There was like so many. Some of them were good, but it was just too much filler. I think they would have kept it to like a 5-issue series. It would have been a little more tighter, better story. But I like the ending. I like where I'm kind of hopeful about the DC universe, which I wasn't like a few months ago. We talked about it on here, which I was pretty much done with the DC universe. But they're doing some stuff with Wally West. There's a big story arc in The Flash coming up is kind of dealing with Wally West and kind of him. What's next for him? So I'm hoping. I'm not. My expectations are very low as far as what they're going to do. I've been heartbroken many times as a Wally West fan, so we'll see what happens. But we'll see. I'm curious. I'm definitely going to check it out, and I can't wait to be heartbroken again.
How many times is this that they've fixed Wally West now?
Well, he came back in the new Rebirth,
and then they fucked him up, and then they said they fixed him again. I heard. Then they made him a murderer.
And no, they fucked him up in the Titans book, and then they made him a murderer, and then they brought him back. And I like where he's at now. They in the Death Metal series, and what was the other series that came out? Flash Forward. They kind of righted some wrongs and kind of explained what happened. It's not his doing, which a lot of people like. No, that's totally out of character. So they've kind of fixed some of it, and they have a little bit more fixing to do. But it's just they dug him in a fucking hole, and it just fucked up, man. For people like or fans of this character, like, man, like, you guys totally just are fucking with us, man.
They shat on him. They shat on him. That's what they did.
And I blame Didio because Didio was not a fan of Wally West. He hated that character for so long, and he was totally down to throw him under the bus any chance he could. And I just fuck that guy. It's we'll see when I think Flash number 766 I think is when the story arc starts. I forgot, it has something to do with Wally West, so I'm definitely gonna check that out. I'm hoping we'll see. But as far as the other DC stuff, I like some of the future state stuff. Didn't really catch me. I heard like the Wonder Woman's okay, but some of the other stuff was I didn't really. It's a mixed bag for sure. I'm curious to see what this universe looks like a year from now. I'll definitely have this conversation again. All right, so let's go to our pool list for the week. So pool list is pretty much stuff you picked up recently, stuff you watched, listened to, bought, looked at, whatever, good or bad, something you want to talk about, rant about, whatever. Lori, I'll go with you. You say you got some good stuff for us. Thrill us.
Yes, actually. Well, the first thing I have is, again, going back to my Criterion. I actually bought it's the trilogy, Guillermo del Toro's trilogy of his Kronos, Pan's Labyrinth, and Devil's Backbone. And this is a like a box set. It's got all his great, those movies on there, plus tours of his house. I mean, it's all the great special features that are on there as well, which I'm very happy about. I wanted to get it on Blu-ray, but apparently it's out of print. So that's one of the new things I got. And then the other thing, which I was very, very pleasantly surprised about, is usually on New Year's Day, I always go out to see a movie. That's been a tradition of mine for the last decade, but this year I just didn't go out to a theater. So I ended up watching on Criterion Channel Barbarella, which I had never seen before, and I absolutely freaking loved it. It was so campy and so perfect, and just for the longest time, I always thought it was a different type of sci-fi movie. I thought for some, it was like, I don't know, but I watched the trailer and I went, oh my God, I love, just from the trailer. I'm like, oh my God, I love this. And then I saw the movie and I was like instantly smitten, from the costumes to the music to the just cheesiness to everything. I mean, just such a cult status. And now it's going to be my New Year's Day movie from now on. I'm not going to watch anything else. I'm gonna end up. I have trying to find it on DVD, but I can't seem to find it anywhere. So I want to definitely buy it on DVD. But that's definitely my So those are my two pull lists for the week.
I'll go next. So I was watching Clerks 2 on DVD last week. I kind of remember this movie like in the trailers. It's called Now You Know Me, and Now You Know. It's directed by Jeff Anderson, who is of course Randall in the Clerks movies. He's like stars in this, and was it Pillow Pants? What's his name? Trevor Furman. He's in this too. So yeah, it looks. I remember seeing this trailer like a long time ago. Rashida Jones is in this. So yeah, it's a Kevin Smith Presents, and directed by Jeff Anderson. I'm curious about it, so I just got this today. It could be horrible, could be decent. Some of those Kevin Smith Presents movies were not good. Some of that was the one directed by I think Jason Lee directed one maybe, and there was another one too. There was like cutty, super independent film. Vulgar was one of them.
Vulgar the Clown.
Yeah, that was a mess of a movie. But I'm curious about this. I'm a big Jeff Anderson. I love him in Clerks. He's definitely one of my favorite characters in Clerks.
Yeah.
Clerks. I'm curious about that. I picked this one up too. I remember seeing this as a kid and not liking this, like in the early 90s when this came out. But I saw it at Amoeba. I was like, I'm gonna swoop on it. Return of the Living Dead Part 3.
That's good.
Oh wow.
That's super. That's camp.
Yeah, I remember not liking it as a kid, but I want to rewatch it now in my older years. So I'm kind of curious about that. The girl is from another big movie too. Oh, she's the girl from where is she from? I think she's the girl from the beginning of Born in East LA. It's the same girl, I think.
Really?
The girl that plays the main zombie, the girl on the cover. What's her name? Yeah, I forgot. She's in another big movie.
Rick will tell you in just a second.
Yeah, Rick will tell me. I remember the problem with this movie. I'm a big fan of Part 2, Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Part 1's amazing too. I love Part 1. But this one, I think the problem I had with it wasn't enough zombies in it. That was my issue back in the day. My 13-year-old Ray, like I love zombies. Like there's no fucking zombies in the goddamn movie. But I remember her looking fucking cool, and like her design was really cool. So yeah.
Oh, that's where you remember her from.
What do I remember?
That's Jessica Priest from the Spawn movie.
Yeah, but she's in something from the early mid 80s.
I'm looking at her mid 80s Days of Our Lives. That's when her acting starts. Melinda Clark. Yeah.
There's something she was in. I'm going to remember.
Dallas. Revival of Dallas. Her filmography starts in 92.
No, she was. Oh man, I'll remember it from something. I know she's in something fucking from the. I think it's in Born in East LA. The redhead chick from Born.
I looked that one up, but I don't think that's her.
Look it up, man. I'm trying to remember what the fuck she was from. I'll remember it later. God damn it! All right, so that one. I also picked up. I finished this. The Rise of Kylo Ren. This kind of takes place. Yeah, Charles Soule writes this. This kind of takes place. This kind of tells a story about like right after Kylo. If you've seen Force Awakens, he destroys the Jedi Temple and fucks with Luke, and he kind of explains the Knights of Ren, which is pretty disappointing. Like the Knights of Ren, I don't know why they fucking built up the Knights of Ren at all. Because reading this, I'm like, that's it. That's what the Knights of Ren are, just a bunch of punks. I thought it was kind of. I wish they never brought up the Knights of Ren in the movies. I think it was just kind of a pointless fucking thing. And just kind of reading this kind of confirms it. Like that was kind of pointless and kind of didn't know what to do. Like, we have a cool name, but we're not going to do anything with it. And the art's not that great in this. I think it's kind of plain. It's only a 4 issue. It's a quick read. You see some Snoke stuff in it and some Kylo kind of going against the Knights of Ren, and kind of how he gets in with them, and him like fighting off some of the Jedi. Students that were left survived. Yeah, it's a quick read. I wouldn't recommend it if you want to. It doesn't really give you too much insight. I think they're probably saving that for something else. All right, what else is on my? Oh, last thing on my. I've been watching Animaniacs, the new Animaniacs. It's good. I think they need the other characters. I think I love Pinky and the Brain. I love the Animaniacs. I need the other characters kind of balance out, because if it's just Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, it's just like
it's not really Animaniacs.
Yeah, I want to see the Good Feathers. I want to see Mindy. I want to see fucking Good Idea, Bad Idea. I want to see all. Like I love Pinky and the Brain. I love the Animaniacs, but it's just I need more. I need like the other like the balance out. Like it's too much Pinky and the Brain, too much Animaniacs. So it's fun. I like the animation. I like the jokes are really the jokes are hitting. I'm digging it for sure. And last thing is crossover number 3. This is the big Donny Cates crossover series called Crossover. So pretty much the plot is all the comic books, all the universes kind of merge on this world and have like a big battle. And so they a Doctor Strange character kind of puts a dome over the battle, and they kind of cut themselves off, and some people escape. And so in this world, like all comic books this is like set in the real world, where like all these comic book characters have come to life. They reference Superman, they reference Batman, they reference like Savage Dragon, and there's a couple comic book characters that show up in this too. It's a super interesting idea. I really dig it. Donny Cates is an amazing writer. It's a great idea. I think there's some cool cameos I won't mention. I don't want to spoil it, but it's some deep cuts for sure. So I'm digging it so far. Supposedly they have some more surprises left too. So it's a fun book, a fun read. Definitely check it out. I think Michelle has been reading it too. So definitely some fun stuff in there. All right, let's go, Mike. What's on your pull list this week, man?
Very excited. I actually just got to finish the Mandalorian season 2, so I'm
nice.
Just a day and a half ago. So
nice.
Kind of chew on that, and to go ahead and jump into the internet and hear everyone's theories and so on and so forth.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I've been chewing on for the past day or so. Nothing much new. I have just some random comics that I busted out because I had to pull out my Punisher set. So just looking at a bunch of rando fun things. And one of the favorite ones I came across was the classic issue of
Miami
Mouse.
You don't have Miami Mice?
Miami Mice.
Oh, Miami Mice. Okay, I was like Miami Mice.
I know that's what that said mile, but
like Miami Mice, the whole Boris the Bear.
Oh wow.
Oh boy, I have some Boris the Bears.
Yeah.
I have some of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cutty. Yeah.
Stuff. Native interdimensional commando koalas.
Oh god.
Reaching back for adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters in 3D.
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to like the 80s of my comic book collection, just enjoying some throwbacks.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember. Boris the Bear. I have a few issues of that. Remember the Mighty Mites?
I remember those.
Yeah,
yep.
Mighty Mites. Yeah, they did like parodies of like Dark Knight and XMen. Yeah, I have a few of those too. Yeah.
Yep.
Best yet, the
Oh, Milk and Cheese, awesome.
Oh, I love Milk and Cheese.
Milk and Cheese, very good.
That's good.
Yeah, good stuff.
Nice.
But and so speaking of villains dead, I've been enjoying my Daredevils, and Kingpin. I mean, he's an alive or dead villain now? He's a dead villain, right?
In the comics or in the movie, in the shows?
Well, in the shows, like if they were trying to bring him into it.
He's alive in the comic. In the comic, he's the mayor of New York, actually, right now.
Okay. Yeah. Good. So yeah, you kind of have to have that villain to be there for the vehicle for the. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Going back on the Daredevil and Punisher cross paths quite often on the same levels of
Yeah, he's a they next they're gonna take away fat bald guys too. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, is that it for your pull list, Mike?
And the last asterisk is my what if collection. I got back into that because the whole what if part of the Marvel universe is starting to be peeled back a little bit. And
Nice.
yeah, it was exciting to.
I love the second series of What If is my favorite, man. I love that series, man. I have so many of the What If, but Spider-Man kept the alien costume. What if Wolverine versus Conan? Like, oh man, that's some great stuff, man. Awesome. Rick, what do you got, man?
Picked this up the other day. Descender number 3. Haven't got into it yet. It's just the third book in the Descender series, the one that Alex turned me on to. Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen. And unexpectedly, I didn't even trip on it when I bought it, but I got this book called Gideon Falls. Sometimes this is why I like going to comic book stores. I like going to comic book stores because sometimes just the cover itself will get me to pick up a book and just check out what the back says. So it turns out looks like it's a haunted kind of a horror comic. Also by Jeff Lemire, which is kind of like trippy. I didn't plan it that way, but it just works out. So but yeah, that cover looks dope, man. It kind of reminded me for a second. I was like, oh, that kind of looks like San Francisco, a little peninsula city,
Yeah.
But just the park right here and everything. But it looks cool, so I can't wait to read those. I'm not reading anything as of yet, just because I'm still going through Ready Player 2. I'm halfway through right now, enjoying what I'm reading so far. Got a few questions, but I'll hopefully have those answers once I finish reading the book. So
Nice.
That's what I got.
Awesome. Let's see. It's Doug. Fuck that guy.
Well,
I think he was talking about Tom King. We were talking about.
okay. Damn.
Not Rick. We have another chat for that. Danny just started Stargate SG1. I heard Stargate SG1 is pretty good.
The first three seasons are pretty good. Once they start getting into other gods, that's where they kind of started losing me. Once they started introducing Norse mythology. The Asgardians, turned out that they're like the Greys and stuff. Sorry, spoilers, but you still gotta go through it because it's.
Danny. You just started, man.
I like the mythos that they use for the Stargate aliens, the Egyptian ones.
Oh,
So it's a pretty cool show.
Yeah, a lot of people say it's better than the movie.
It's more fleshed out. I actually like Richard Dean Anderson. Fucking MacGyver is as Kurt Russell's character. The doctor chick, she's a little annoying, and same thing with the doctor guy, Daniel Michael Shanks. He was Hawkman on Smallville.
Hawkman. Oh, okay.
Yeah. When the JSA got introduced. Yeah. He was Hawkman on Smallville. That's Michael Shanks. He plays Daniel on SG1.
He said it was fun while it lasted.
Still watch it. I just wouldn't watch all this. I wouldn't watch the spin-offs. That's me. I wouldn't watch the spin-offs, but I would watch the main series.
Jet Expectations picked up the McFarlane crossover variant. Woohoo! Especially the 125th one. Yeah, nice. Yeah, the Spawn cover looks pretty sick. Yeah, I would definitely, if I saw it in a while, I'd definitely swoop on it. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's a fun series. I'm liking it so far. Michelle Morris, she got stars in her eyes. Stars in her eyes.
Don't we all?
Don't we all? Remember to hit the like button, folks. If you're watching right now, I see 8 people watching right now. If you can hit that like button, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. Help us out. Help the algorithm. All right. Let's see. All right. So now we're gonna jump to hidden gems. Hidden gems is pretty much something in your collection you want to show off, show and tell, man, like you used to do back in the day. You can come to school and show off your new toy that you got. So whatever you want to talk about in your class, something cutty, something personal to you. So we'll start with you, Lori. What's your hidden gem for the week?
Well, I have 2 actually. I'm wearing one of them. My roommate got me a Mandalorian sweatshirt for Christmas, so it was very cool. She got that for me on Etsy. It was very cool. And then I remember, it's funny when I was growing up, we had these dolls that we got back in the day, and I forgot that I actually have some of them. So I actually have a Mr. Spock,
Ooh.
1974 Mego.
Is that Amigo?
It's Amigo, yeah.
It's Amigo. I have this one. I also have the Robin. I also have
Don't need that Robin.
I have the Robin, and I also have the Wizard of Oz. I have 6 characters from Wizard of Oz. And I just realized, I didn't realize these were like 1974. I didn't realize how old these are. Yeah. I mean, I know that we're missing his phaser and all of that stuff, but I think
I have the taser.
I think I have it somewhere. It's in the same area that I have like my old all of those action.
Is the gold still over the his chest, the logo?
Yeah,
because that's one of the first things that leaves, like it's
peeling off a little. It's peeling off.
Yeah, I think those are one of the things that goes. Yeah, those things come peel off on the older ones. Yeah,
what is it? Just like a sticker?
Yeah, it goes. It stays on there, but there's like a silver sticker that goes over it, and that peels off.
Oh, yeah,
okay. Yeah.
I have the Kirk. I have the Kirk McCoy. I have Wonder Woman. I have Hulk. I have Spider-Man. Yeah, I have a few of those Migos. Yeah, Migos are great, man. They're cool.
Yeah, so it was funny because I was thinking, I'm like, what can I do for the hidden gem? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I have these. So
that's a perfect hidden gem right there.
That's I figured you guys would appreciate the Dr. Spock, or Mr. Spock rather. Sorry, but.
Yeah, Dr. Spock was a child psychologist. Right?
There you go. Exactly. So those are my two.
I was watching Look Who's Talking the other day, so that's why I know that.
Your babies and you.
That's a great flick, man. That kind of underrated flick right there.
Well, unfortunately, with those 2 Scientologists, but hey, we'll overlook that. We'll overlook that.
Nobody's nerf it.
It's a fun movie. Yeah.
I know. I like it.
You want to kick out the Scientologists, kick out all the Catholics and all the fucking Christians too, because
that's true. That's very true. No, but it is very cool.
Scientology is just as crazy as any other religion, in my opinion. Fuck.
So yeah, those are my hidden gems. So
nice. I'll go next. I think I'm not sure if I talked about this before, but it's my box set.
Oh, that's awesome!
Oh wow,
the animated,
the Real Ghostbusters, the complete series. This also includes the Slimer series, the spin-off series that came towards the end. It's got a little Ghostbuster logo.
Right there. Is he sawing it?
Yeah. Or what is in there?
This is the cartoon. This is a complete cartoon series.
Oh, I didn't even know they had a cartoon series.
Oh yeah. This is probably more influential on me than even the movies. I was a big fan of this. They're just great characters. Arsenio Hall voiced Winston in the first couple seasons. And great. Dave Coulier came in and replaced Lorenzo Music as Peter Venkman, which kind of threw me off because I like Lorenzo Music. He's the guy. He's the one that did the voice of original Garfield, and he did a lot of voices for the '80s. And do you know the story behind that, right? Why they changed it?
Oh, Lorenzo Music.
Yeah, they changed it. Why? The reason they changed them to Dave Coulier because Bill Murray was having a lunch with Ivan Reitman, who was one of the producers on the show, and he was like, "I like the show, but why does my character not sound like me?" And that was like one of the things. The producers were scared. They didn't want to like step on anybody's toes, so they made the characters look different and kind of sound different from their movie counterparts. And then they were like no, we want them to sound like us. So that's why they brought in Dave Coulier to like kind of sound like more
like the Bill Murray voice.
Which kind of like I like Lorenzo Music, man. He was a perfect voice for him, man. I thought he's so iconic.
When they changed that, and like after the first season,
I think around episode 70 or something. I'm doing a state of Ghostbusters at some point, so I've been doing some research on some of the cartoons. It's a fun show. I've been rewatching some of my favorites. I love when the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man shows up, and like he has he fought like a giant balloon Thanksgiving balloon mantis. It was like it took me back. I was like, oh man, this show is amazing. Like some of the storylines were they did one with Cthulhu, like talking about like Lovecraft shit, and it was the animation was amazing. It was great stories. They would take all these old tales and like reconstitute them, like they did the Ichabod Crane, but it was a motorcycle biker.
Wow,
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, and they had the Poultrygeist, the fucking the were chicken. Sorry,
no, it's fine. The Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman, yeah.
Oh my god, it still scares me, bro. That's creepy as fuck, man.
Kids fucking cartoon. That shit was some fucking cold shit, man. Like we watched it, like damn, they got away with this shit back in the day. That's why we're a little more hardcore than these kids today, man.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't have the fucking Boogeyman, fucking in a Saturday morning cartoon like that, like some hardcore shit. But it's a fun show, man. I love the animation. The storylines are great. I love the characters. It just brings me back, man. So I've just been revisiting this, man. It's a great box set, man. It's a Time Life box set.
Is it like a building or what is it supposed to be?
Yeah, it's a firehouse.
Oh, nice. Oh, very cool. That's fun.
Yeah, it's a firehouse, yeah.
That's very fun.
And then, yeah, I got the little Slimer right there.
Oh, neat.
That's great.
Yeah,
oh, very cool.
Yeah, great show, man. One of my favorite cartoons as a kid. Still holds up. Some of those cartoons from the 80s.
The imagery is great on that one, dude.
The animation is really good, man. The designs, the character designs, and like the ghost design, aesthetics, like it's really like they were great stuff. And they had some great writers. Michael
Straczynski with it. He was one of my favorite episodes. Yeah,
he's one of like the main writers on there, and like watching they have introductions by some of the writers. Like they really don't bring it. Like some of the times they have introductions for some of the episodes on some TV shows. Like we watch the DVDs and shit. Like these ones are like kind of like a lot of them. Like I don't remember writing this episode, but here, watch it. Like, thanks for bringing insight to this. There's no like reason. Like so, don't watch it with the introductions. But it's fun to watch to revisit this stuff, man. It's a fun show. Definitely one of my favorite shows from the 80s, and it definitely holds up. Like some of the shows you watch from the 80s. Like you watch them now, it's like, oh, what the fuck was I thinking? But you kind of romanticize some of this shit. But this definitely holds up. It's definitely a fun show. It's definitely fun revisiting, and just makes me more excited about Ghostbusters Afterlife, man. Can't wait for that. So cool. All right. So who's next? Mike, why don't you go next, man? What's your hidden gem for the week?
Hidden gem for the week?
Yeah, your whole room looks like a hidden gem, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing's pretty
I'm gonna
dope.
bust out my Mexican.
Oh wow!
It looks hard. This is one of my favorite gems. I was inspired by art at a shop and came across this lovely item, and
that's awesome.
That's got to come home with me. So that's really fun.
That doesn't look like Luke.
No, it's hard.
Yeah, I know. That's really weird.
Which I think is really fun that he's able to do that. Which actually leads me to an R2-D2 conversation I want to have in a second. But my best hidden gems are these Superman versus Aliens.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I got that one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, inker Kevin Nolan.
And, nice. Got that signed.
Yeah, so that's really really pretty. And then behind that, I have my best autograph is a Christopher Reeve's Death of Superman.
Whoa, that's awesome,
man.
That's dope.
This is my favorite.
That's
insane.
That's a gem right there, man. That's great, man. Wow. Oh, you just made Michelle jealous as fuck right now. I mean, I could tell her expression on her face. She's like, oh.
Yeah.
But that's awesome, man. Yeah, where'd you get that?
I'm sure that's probably worth a lot of money too, especially now.
I was into antiquing for about 5 years before eBay became a thing, and antiquing collectibles just came across random items at random people's, and that's one of my lucky random bits. So I've never had it certified, but I'm pretty sure
that's wild.
Most of my connections were pretty legit back in the day. So
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, you don't see too many bootleg Christopher Reeve autographs on that.
No, that's not a real thing.
That's the life of Superman. That's the return of Superman, right? That one's the return. Now the one back there is a death. The white one's the return of Superman.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to peel it open. So
yeah, the white cover was when he came back.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. And then you said you had some R2 discussion.
Yeah. So recently, the discussion popped into my brain of like how R2-D2 is a relevant character throughout the Star Wars universe, and
he's a war hero, man.
The war hero, and the fact that he's just such a paramount character. Influential in today's culture. So anyway, there we go. That's my little
question. No, I totally agree. I think R2 is like one of the unsung heroes of the Star Wars universe. Like I hate C-3PO. I think he's just he just complained the whole time. He fucking He assaulted R2 for so many. I think C-3PO is a horrible character. I think he's worse than Jar Jar in my opinion.
Yeah, their Laurel and Hardy relationship they have is not.
Yeah, I think 3PO is a horrible character. There was a comic a few years ago that it was a story. It was a guy telling a war story. He was just telling about this. He was talking about the Galactic Civil War. He was talking about the Clone Wars. I've seen this, I've seen that. And you just saw the voiceover. You didn't see who. And they panned back. It was R2 telling BB-8 about his life, it panned out and he was telling, it was sounding like an old war veteran, I've been through this, I saw this, and he pans back and it's R2 talking to BB-8 oh yeah, nice. I seen some shit, kid.
Seen some shit.
Let's see. Yep, I told you. That Christopher Reeves is amazing. Pinball Mike. Yes, that's a great hidden gem. Hidden gem of the year so far. Let's see.
And Tildy agrees.
Hondo made us all jealous. Yeah, made all our geek, gave us all geek boners. Way to go.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of geek boners, Rick, what do you got?
So it's nothing as extravagant as that,
Well, I probably should have ended with Mike.
Man. I know, exactly. It's I can't follow that.
No, well, mine is a little bit more nostalgic. So I ended up picking up CBS All Access just so I could watch The Stand. The Stand, it's going pretty well. I want to make sure I get deeper into it. I can't remember how many episodes it is. Is it like 6 or 10? Can't remember. But it's episode 4 right now. But the thing that I found hidden on there was the fact that Nickelodeon has a lot of things on there. So they have the original Doug. They got the Rugrats. They have Real Monsters. One of my favorite series is Are You Afraid of the Dark, which is a tale from the dark side for kids. Mm-hmm. So I've just been deep diving into a lot of those shows, going through the seasons of that stuff. Hopefully they add more stuff to it because I want to watch old Double Dare episodes. Mm-hmm. I'd love to watch Hey Dude. I don't know if Nickelodeon owns these shows or not, but if Nickelodeon, it has it on there, but you can't do that on television. Has to be on your network. I'm sorry. This is what slime, the whole sliming thing. This is what it was all about. So Nickelodeon network on the CBS All Access. Kudos for having the shows that I want to watch, but you can't do that on television.
Yeah, it was a Canadian show, so I think there's rights.
Yeah,
that's what it probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Canadian, so I think there's probably different rights. That was a weird show for a kid back in the day too. The old man creeped me out back in the day, man. He just gave me. Yeah, he gave me I was not ready for that.
Alanis Morissette came out of there, so there you go.
Yeah. Alanis. Yeah.
He's just laughing for kids in Canada.
Pretty much. Yeah. Exactly. That's a good analogy.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love the I don't know water and shit like that. So
good.
Yeah, it was cool. Did anybody watch the CBS the Nickelodeon broadcast of the NFL game on Sunday?
No.
I watched highlights of it.
Yeah, it was. I watched I turned it on for a couple minutes just to check it out. It was pretty funny. It's I like how they were trying to explain the rules and to kids and they had exactly.
Right.
They had the splash zone. When somebody scored a touchdown, they were on the field, through the graphics. There was splash and slime and stuff. So it's cool. I think it's smart way to bring kids in and kind of explain. It was cute, but after a couple minutes, all right, I need to go back to regular football. It's cool though. If I had kids, I would definitely watch football with them like that. But
curious what the solid play-by-play was the typical drive down a field
Yeah, they had a young person too with them, so kind of bridging the gap. So, and they were kind of explaining what some of the rules meant and kind of breaking stuff down, what certain things meant. So I thought it was a cool little cool thing. It was a smart move because how many kids are watching NFL not with their parents
right.
On their own. So it's a cool idea. And I saw a lot of people bitching about it and oh, why are you doing that? That's a disgrace. I was don't watch it. It's not for you. You're not a fucking you're not an 8-year-old kid. You're not a 5-year-old kid. Well, who cares? And it's not the only broadcast. It's being broadcast in 20 other fucking stations and any whatever you want to watch. So yeah, I didn't understand the hate for it's you don't have to watch it. I don't get, like if that's your only option, then you need other channels. So let's see. I got another chat here. Michelle Morris. Oh, I love All Real Monsters. Not sure I can justify the expense though. I feel it's too many streaming services. I just canceled my Netflix. I can't. I had to. They're hyping up the price, and I'll get it somehow through other means. But yeah, it's too many streaming services. Like, oh, it's supposed to be the cable cord cutting, but like you get all this shit. It's the same exact amount as cable. So what the fuck? Yeah, you definitely have to be more picky with shit. Like, I want to watch CBS All Access at the stand, but I don't want to pay for another streaming service. Like, I'll probably wait till it comes out on Blu-ray and buy it and watch it then. I can't afford another streaming service. It's too much. Much. All right. That was
great.
Go ahead.
So the lady in the red dress from Born in East LA.
Yeah, it's not her. Yeah.
Her name's Neat Hunter. She's also I didn't trip on it. She's in Near Dark, Less Than Zero, and Fright Night Part 2.
Nice.
Okay, I think that's why
Two of my favorites. Two of my favorites.
There's something she was in though. I'm gonna do a deep dive on some research. I gotta find out because there was something I was watching recently. And she was in it. I was like, and then I did. Oh, it's the girl from Return of the Living Dead. So I gotta figure out what the connection was. There was something that connected with it. So we'll forget. We'll investigate later. All right. Let's see. All right. So that was fun. It was good discussions.
Mm-hmm.
Good discussions all around. Mike. Fucking pleasure, man, having you on, man.
Yeah. Yay.
No doubt.
You exceeded my Gen expectations.
I'm glad to be here. I was supposed to be here on March 10th, and the show within that bracket, and then everything went sideways, and then you came back.
Boy, did it ever!
It was your punishment. You had to wait for so long. He was in the waiting room for that long.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Mike. Any shout outs you want to give? Anything you want to plug or shout out to?
Shout out to Pinball Pirate. They can help you with all your arcade needs. If you're looking for those little baby stand-ups to one of the great big full-size pinball machines, gotta rent them, gonna buy them. They'll help you out.
I want one so bad. It's on the bucket list of buy, man. Get an arcade machine, man. Someday.
It really is. And and then speaking of which, the old bells for the Stingray here from '76. It's like a doorbell, and just makes you so happy to hear them.
Come on in, America. Mm-hmm. Right on, man. Appreciate it, Mike.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you.
Right on, Lori. Any shout outs you want to give? Any last words for us?
One thing actually for Rick that I wanted to mention to him, or remember back in the day when we were talking about the vampire movies and you had mentioned Near Dark was The Hitcher Meets Vampires.
Yes.
Well, the guy that actually wrote The Hitchers co-wrote Near Dark. So that makes perfect sense. I thought about that and I'm like, that makes perfect sense. That's why
he ran out of ideas, huh? So he just reused his own ideas.
Well, I mean, you just make The Hitcher with vampires. It's like
so unoriginal.
Of course.
There you go. Other than that, Mike, it's good to see you. It's been a long time. It's good to see you. Always good to see Ray and Mr. Rick, and to hear Fieldy in the background. And I'm still slowly getting my own channel up and running. I have to do a little bit of more research, but once it's up and running, I'll let everybody know. And
just dive right in like we did. You don't have to do anything. Exactly. Learn on the job, Lori. Learn on the job. Just go in, figure it out.
Hands on. And just stay safe, everyone, and wear your mask. And happy almost 99th birthday to Betty White on the 17th of this month.
Don't jinx her.
I know.
Part of the prophecy, man. She must.
I know. So, but
true. Jen Expectations. Good to see you all. Hi, Lori.
Hi. But yeah, good to see everyone, and take care, and just thank you always for having me on the show. I always enjoy it, and it's definitely a highlight of my day. So that's it.
Awesome. Meet the Ricardos. What do you got?
So I hate to end on a down note because I don't think we mentioned this in a while, right? So John Huber he passed away. He was a wrestler, better known as Brody Lee and Luke Harper in WWE. He's one of the almost like a rarity where nobody in the business had anything bad to say about this man. He was taken away far too soon. He died of an unknown lung complication. They're not, they don't want to reveal, which I respect the family. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. It was non-COVID related. It's just sad to see somebody who with such high potential, who finally was getting his chance. I mean, even his last match in AEW against Cody Rhodes is probably was damn amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to say, rest in peace to, from what I heard, was not just a great wrestler, a great man and great father. So rest in peace to John Huber.
Right on. Yeah, Brody, the exalted one, Brody Lee. Yeah, great dude. And AEW did a great tribute show to him, man. Like, there are a lot of wrestlers die like in their prime. They usually die like 20 years after their prime, and it's like, the complications of steroid use or drug use, whatever. This guy died 41 years old, just getting like a big push.
Wow.
Becoming a main eventer, had a family, and just no one's gonna say a bad thing about the guy. So it's a sad story, but it's good to see it like a good, like some, see somebody positive and somebody that affect people in the right way. So usually in the wrestling industry, you hear the other way. This guy was a fucking piece of shit, or this guy this. Not him. No, this was a true hero among men. So yeah, that's sad to see him go. But a good legend. We could definitely check out some of his old matches. So yeah, thanks everybody that's been watching. Thanks everybody that jumped in the chat. Thanks to people who've been supporting the channel. We're a few away from the big 200. 4 away from hitting 200. So that's exciting. 200 subs.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year and a half. So, more fun stuff to come. And the more subs we get, the more people we have to please, and the more stuff we're gonna see. So, and then it's we're building a little mini empire here. So I appreciate everybody that's been supporting the channels and sharing with their friends and letting people letting people know about this stuff. It's cool, man. It's a fun place to go and talk whatever geek stuff you want. So I appreciate people coming in and chatting with us, just like Michelle right here. Thanks for the fun chats. I enjoyed watching you all. See you next time, since I'm now a subscriber. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it. Our latest subscriber. Appreciate that. Yeah. Come join us every Tuesday at 8:00 for fun shenanigans. We got some more unboxings coming. Some cool unboxings, hopefully in the next few months and stuff. We got some cool stuff coming in. So definitely be on the lookout for that. With some more reviews. We're doing the WandaVision, like I said earlier, every Friday. Usually probably around 11 or 12. Check around that time. Come check us out. We're gonna, after you watch WandaVision, come check us out the after show. Kind of just breaking down, recapping, recapping the big moments and talking about the show and speculating on what we're gonna see next. So we did one for the Mandalorian. We're gonna do it for the WandaVision. Keep that going. Me with Nip and sometimes Rick and some other folks, whenever the schedules open up. So come check that out on Friday, and come back next week for issue 61. I think we're doing the top 5 comedy movies next week.
So yeah.
Oh wow.
Top 5 comedy movies next week. I think we have lined up for that one. So that should be a fun one. Hilarity will ensue. So yeah, come check us out. Like I said, like and subscribe. And thanks to everybody for watching. And everybody take care. Wear your mask. And hashtag the Punisher is ours, not theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
So folks, be safe and be safe to each other. Be kind and don't rewind. And see you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace out.